That's right, folks. It's Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy's Content House. What? Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy. Who? Jamie Kennedy's got a Content House. Oh, he's interviewing Barry Catz. Oh, he's Dave Chappelle's manager and other people like Whitney Cummings. Oh, it's Content House. What? Content House. That's right, folks. We got Jamie Kennedy in his own Content House. What? Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy's Content House. What? Jamie Kennedy. Jamie Kennedy. Get the Content House. Okay, folks. All right. Welcome to the show. I just have to make a few adjustments here. I just can't believe the sheen. And look at I'm just so blue. Okay, look at my skin. Okay, this is just too blue, or fuchsia, or whatever color that is. But this is. Oh, sorry, folks. I'm slurping like Jeff Dye here. I'm breathing. I got a little bit of congestion. Okay, but that's Dillard's. That's walking into the mall, and these are the displays for the shoes. This is the shoe department at Dillard's. So he goes to the mall all the time buying his tennis shoes. Tie them up. What you doing, Jamie Kennedy? You gotta look good for the Gatekeeper, folks. This is Barry Catz. Okay, people who might not know. I mean, this spells his last name with a Z. Okay, he's a producer and manager. He manages let's take a look here. Bill Burr, Dane Cook, Lucy K, Kevin Brennan. Oh my God. Bert Kreischer, Dave Chappelle, Whitney Cummings. And then he had to get into television or start producing after the Whitney Cummings thing. He just wasn't making enough money managing her. So he had to venture off into some other things. Now, again, we talked about Whitney Cummings. I can't watch her podcast at all. It's this bright all the time. Okay, so JB, please do not borrow interns from Whitney Cummings. Okay, you're looking a bit Cummings. But Barry Catz here. He's an industry staple, a pillar. So he's going to tell us a bit about comedy. Okay, he managed a lot of stand-up comedians. I'm under this strong impression, the knowing within that stand-up is on its way out, folks. Okay, I don't see stand-up being relevant in the next 5 to 7 years. Now, I had a sense like this with the film industry, okay, about 15 years ago. And once I saw YouTube and iPhones with cameras and things like this, I was just like, woo. People just have their own networks, okay? have their own way to distribute their material. So you didn't really need the studios anymore, okay? You could become your own independent studio. And these stand-ups have, produced their own specials or released it on YouTube for free. And it has helped sell tickets for them. They make money on it if it hits well. So there's a big shift, and I don't see stand-up as in the forefront of this new era of comedy entertainment. I believe we're experiencing parts of it right now. I believe the next part of this evolution would be able to do live watch parties. Let's say, Kendrick Lamar is going to be coming out with an album here pretty quick. We saw Baby Keem's release on YouTube live. We did a watch party. And I believe all the streamers should be able to stream with their community, and have that be part of a communal consciousness for the creators. And it'll be as if it's views for the content, but maybe it would even add a bit more, kind of like a hype or something. So that way we're not taking away traffic from them by bringing our community and watching it live. So maybe that might have a bit of play into maybe some of the stand-up specials. But we are doing a bit of that when we watch these long-form or do these long-form commentaries. Okay, I want to watch something within its entirety as much as possible. We'd be able to really get a sense of it, get a sense of the characters. We'd be able to get a sense of the arcs, and the headlines will come to us. Okay, we're not searching for headlines. We're not searching for trends. We develop them ourselves through the art of observation. So here we are. That's my little bit of a comedy entertainment soapbox. Okay, I want to make sure that comedy is not just preserved, but it's percolated. And it might need to be a deep steep, in order to get a nice concentrated comedy. And I believe that that's what these long form commentary live streams are. Okay, you gotta, the longer you're in, the bigger the payoff. So welcome to the chat, guys. Appreciate it. It's a lot. It's a late one. I tried to get in a couple hours earlier, and I just second guessing myself again. I'm like, well, maybe I'll do it tomorrow. I'm just like, no, I just need to do it now. So here we are. Oh, Jim Kennedy. And I like that because he had Harlan Williams on. Harlan really, really went hard on the comedy critique, and maybe this is a little bit of reconnaissance work. Maybe Barry's coming in here to help clean up the rubble. But let's see what happens. It's a 2-hour one, so we'll see.
This is crazy.
Thanks for hanging out.
Do you like it?
I like it.
This is a big compliment coming from you.
Remember,
Pull that closer to your mouth, Barry.
I will.
Yeah.
Can they see me there?
You're perfect. There you are. Right.
He's like, you little minion. Do you understand? I control your lives. Don't tell me about no microphone placement. I think he even has his own podcast. I'm sure. I mean, who doesn't? Yeah. So you got your own. Stop telling people about the mic placement. Okay. People are still wondering where my microphone is. I don't even know. Okay. I know I put it somewhere when I first started streaming. I can't quite remember. That was back when I was experimental and I just wanted it in a random place. So they got the microphone right up in their face, and they got the stand. Yeah. But I've been looking at some too. I'm trying to up the quality a bit. Okay. Maybe adding a little bit more quality will help these newcomers kind of take a little bit of a blind eye to my my youthfulness. Or I'm a rookie, folks. Okay, I just started. Oh man. But no, I feel like I've been doing this for years. I have been in my head for a decade. Okay, I've just, oh man, and I've just been so frustrated with how the movies were, and just, and I'm like, I gotta say something. So, but thank you for all the comments, folks. That really helps send these videos out. I'm chopping them up. Okay, I'm farming my streams, and the comments, the feedback, talking to the commenters. Okay, that helps get it all out there. So the more comments, I appreciate it. And you know, I hear you. Some of it was slow. Okay, that was a slow. Oh man, past couple streams, been a bit under the weather. Not quite, but just congestion. Sleeping with the fan on. You know how that is. You sleep with the fan on, and you wake up, you kind of stuffed up. So that's a bit of, sense of just a little bit slower. Okay, a little bit slower. It's late. But here we are. I got to start this because even when I'm editing these things, I'm like, just play the fucking clip. All right, here we go.
Right there.
Oh, Jesus, you have 17 cameras.
17 berries.
Yeah, I love this, okay? I love this. Because just like Michael Biehn, Barry's just going to put him in this place, okay? Now, Michael Bihn's abusive, okay? He's a verbal, mental abuser, okay? Just from what I've seen, the way that he's treated Jamie Kennedy on the show, I'm not alleging to anything, okay? But, man, you just tear him to shreds, okay? And Michael Biehn was, oh my God, your hair is all crazy, man. The next time I see you, look at your beard, clean up your act, man. You look, You look crazy. And he did. He had a couple crazy flares coming out of his head. He had a couple. We called them his Buseys, his Jamie Kennedy Buseys. And the next stream, he was clean shaven and look all athleisure like Michael Biehn. The belly of Michael Biehn was just so, you could just see it. Should we pull it up? I mean, that thing was just pooching out. Okay. And now we got Barry Catz as a pillar in the comedy, stand-up, television, film landscape. And he's just like, why do you have so many cameras, dude? Well, he doesn't know about Jamie Kennedy's content house. That's right, folks. We just got a first glimpse of the production of Jamie Kennedy's content house. He's going to be setting up mics and cameras everywhere. He wants to film that sweetness scene. Woo! Jamie Kennedy, Jamie Kennedy, Jamie Kennedy's content house. What? Okay. So, but Barry here is just like, why are you overdoing this? Okay. This is a bit too much. So it's good. This is great because before he'll just have some newbies in here and they're just like, wow, look at, or, even Andy Dick, seeing if you can crash on the couch. The content couch.
All right there. Your mouth, Barry.
I will. Can they see me there?
You're perfect. There you are, right there.
Oh, Jesus, you have 17 cameras.
17 berries.
Ooh.
Man, I've got so much to talk to you about.
Yes, exactly. He needs to. No, here's the thing. Now, it'd be great if it was to really put him in his place. Okay. But I really think Jamie Kennedy has been he's been stepping up. Okay. He's been stepping up. There's been this bit of an opportunity and he invested in himself, and he's this isn't anything he's not new to. Okay. He did the X Factor. He loves to be covered. Okay. The more that there's prosthetics on Jamie Kennedy's face, the more he's alive. And he's got to step away from that a bit, okay? Because Harlan Williams can only come out with a movie every 5 years. And only gave Jamie Kennedy a wig gig. Okay? A wig gig. Anyone could get a wig gig. So Jamie Kennedy was not having it. He was just like, fine. But he's used to being in fat black woman prosthetics. Okay? He wants to transform. And Barry Catz, hey, Jamie Kennedy's more than just a podcast connoisseur. He needs to be adorned with prosthetics. So get him in the show, Barry Catz.
Let's start.
Did you wait, tell me when you're ready to start.
We're ready. We're on. We just go.
We just go?
Yeah, no people get the flow with you.
Yeah, exactly. And Found Man, you're right. That having doubts, just it's hard to get started. Because you're like, well, and when I first started, just a few months back, folks, okay, just a few months back, 105 episodes ago. 105. I'd be working for hours with all these ideas, setting everything up, and by the time I was done, I had no energy to stream. I was just so pulled into the display. Okay. So it's hard to start. You guys know that? But there are ways that you can just make it, and it has gotten so much easier. Okay. So, but I've made some adjustments, done some new things, and then that's when it starts to get a little bit more difficult because I'm like, ooh, maybe I should do this too. And all right, here we go.
They do?
Yeah.
They're probably wondering, what the fuck is this guy doing here? Who is this guy?
No.
Is this guy the homeless guy?
You're the best person to talk to about this stuff.
Listen, I just want your audience to know.
Yes.
How many podcasts have you done in this space right here?
I think you're 9.
9. It's unbelievable. For those of you who don't know, this house, okay, there's a word that you use.
And what's that word, folks? Oh, we know what that word is.
There's a word that you use.
What is that word? That's right.
Okay. There's a word that you use.
Jimmy Kennedy! Jimmy Kennedy! Jimmy Kennedy's content house. What? Jimmy Kennedy! All right, there we go.
It's called palatial. And, essentially what Jamie's house is for most of your audience is this. So remember when your parents on the Sunday used to go out for a drive, and you drive through those neighborhoods that have the big, huge houses, and they drive by and you're like, ooh, and then you hear that phrase from your mom or your dad that you didn't want to hear. You see that beautiful house there? Yeah. We're never fucking going to live there. And let me tell you something. If you walk in this house of Jamie Kennedy's, you immediately say to yourself,
Jimmy Kennedy's content house.
I don't think I'm ever...
Oh, Barry Catz. A brother from another mother, Barry. You know what about Jimmy Kennedy's content house? Oh, I hope my bit rate's good. I'm glitching the thing from my mind. Jimmy Kennedy, Jimmy Kennedy, Jimmy Kennedy's content house.
You immediately say to yourself, I don't think I'm ever going to live there.
Hey, but you can. If Andy Dick can, anyone can. Jim Kennedy's content house. What? Yeah.
Stop it.
Jamie,
That's a huge compliment coming
Jamie, literally, I went to Boston Garden to watch the Bruins play. I think they could, the ring could be inside down. So he's got artwork that's like, I mean, it's incredible. It's like, I don't even know what to say. I'm so honored to be here. I can't believe I made the cut and is your 9th guest in this beautiful space.
Made the cut. Come on, Barry. This is first of all, I'm very touched that you say that. And I'm older. I decided I got to triple down on LA. So I got a deal. It is a big place, but I want to make it what we are in the space right now, in our world, in our creative community. I want to make
let me include you, Barry. R. It's yours. Jamie's always trying to include. I like that. Okay. But he'll police your speech.
Make it a live work. And I'm down the street from anything I need to go to.
I don't mean to get you canceled or anything,
Go
but
for
I
it.
mean, literally, any woman that walks in this place, if the dress does not fall to the floor in 67 seconds, then it's you.
Oh, see ya.
67.
Watch out.
67 seconds. I see what you did there. Barry.
Yes.
So good to see you, buddy.
It's good to see you. It's such an honor that you...
Jamie Kennedy, pull that microphone away from your mouth. I turned mine up. So if mine's a little hot, it's because I turned it up. But Jamie Kennedy, move the microphone away from your mouth. You're blowing my ears out.
You invited me because I'm not on your side of the business.
But you're
I'll let this play a little
my
bit.
side
Sorry,
of the
Rich.
business maker. So I think people know you, but if they don't, you're a world class. You are what I would call the last. You're the last, man. You're the last of the breed. A breed that really didn't exist that much, but we were raised to believe it did. For everybody who doesn't know, you are a true manager. And what I mean by that is you always went solo. You always saw talent. You could see the rawest form of a talent. And if the guy just had a good punchline, an interesting hook, a good look, a positive attitude, maybe his impression was 80% there, but you could see how it's going to be 100. Your gift is your eye for talent and patience and polisher. I've never, ever in the history.
Oh my God. How embarrassing. Okay. There is nothing more embarrassing than receiving compliments. Okay. To receive a compliment, you just say, hey, you're really great. Thanks. I appreciate it. The more you draw it out, the less you are that. Okay? And that's why with Bill Maher, with Lisa Kudrow, they just talking like, yeah, I mean, to say I'm a fan, it's just like saying hi, you know, it's just, yeah, of course you're amazing, and of course we're fans, and so, and they just let it go. You know, it's like you don't really, which I wish he kind of would have. I wish he would have been like, Lisa Kudrow, you were amazing in Friends. Tell us all about Friends. Okay. She withheld Friends from us, but, and he did say that a little bit, but Jamie Kennedy, man, you're dragging it out.
Of my 35 years in doing this, seen anyone so attentive to their client as you.
Oh,
ever. To the club, watch them go.
See, he's like, yeah, I mean, Joaquin Phoenix couldn't have done it better than that.
Doing this. Seen anyone so attentive to their client as you.
Oh,
ever. To the club, yeah. Watch them.
See, it's all for them. Okay? These big old, you know, you are this and that. It's you are that to me. Okay? And then you just want that person to say, gee, thanks. I mean, too much.
Go with Barry. Watch him go to the lab when someone's getting ready for tonight's show, and then do the set at the factory, then do the set at the OR, and then do the set at the main room. By the end of the night, that set will evolve, and they'll do it 3 more nights in a row, and then they'll do tonight's show on Friday. And that's what you do, amongst many other things. And no one does that, Barry.
Stop telling him what he does.
I love it. I saw you on stage. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was around 35 years ago for the first time.
Wow. Really?
And you were an incredible performer.
Kevin Brennan.
I saw you at Stand Up New York. I remember the owners was Kerry Hoffman and Suzanne Hoffman.
Yes. Very wonderful people.
You were doing an audition that could have been for Saturday Night Live or something like that, where I had a couple of clients on that audition for SNL. You auditioned for SNL, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So how long ago was that?
32 years ago.
Okay, so that's when I saw you for the first time.
Wow.
And I've always, I want to share this with your audience because Jamie you were already represented at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was the kind of person I wasn't the kind of person who would.
He's a poacher.
Who would, poach people or walk up to people and do that. But that happened to me a lot, but it wasn't my thing. I didn't think it was the right thing to do. I felt if I was going to work with people, it would happen organically and I got lucky and
not lucky. You have an eye.
But I saw you and I thank you, but I saw you and, for those of you in the audience watching and listening to this, I don't know if you guys know this because I have a lot to talk to Jamie about today on this podcast, and it's up to him whether he'll edit it out or not.
I'm here.
Oh, this is going to be the
every
dish.
time I sit across from Jamie, I'm actually he's one of the most challenging artists to understand how he does his art. And I've constantly thought about him and how he operates in this business. I'm not talking about like behind the scenes. I'm not talking about with other managers or agents. I'm talking about how he just does his craft. And so to go back 32 years ago for your audience, the Jamie Kennedy that you see on stage today when you go to a stand-up show there's not even any evidence of that Jamie Kennedy that I saw at Stand Up New York. Mm-hmm. And this is what I really, and I know you're interviewing me, and I'm just
young and
fascinated
vibrant.
by
go with
because the person that went on at Stand Up New York was almost an actor doing a character of a comedian who is animated and energetic and takes the stage and like it's like this is my room and you all sitting here are leasing the chairs. And this young kid went on with this bravado and this confidence and this power and this energy that was like, the only thing I can describe it is like a combination of a little bit lower energy to Robin Williams to a little bit around the acting out on stage of like a Sebastian Maniscalco with kind of like the enthusiasm of Bert Kreischer. As a young man on stage, you were just full of so much bravado and confidence and power, and it was insane. Now, in all fairness, what you didn't have there...
Here goes. I'm about to cry. Now let's get to the material.
No, you can cry. What you didn't have there was you didn't have the premises and the phraseology and the punchlines that were going to take you to the promised land because you were too young. But
23.
But what I did notice is something, and those of you who study comedy, and look, there's 100 different things to make a great stand-up comedian. But in my estimation, there's 3 things that are...
A lot of people say that you got to be molested. Is that what they all say? That they've all been molested? It's like... There's a very high percentage of them who have been. Apparently. Okay, I'm not... That's what they say. So, Jamie Kennedy was never touched. by an angel.
They're really, really important. There's when you walk on the stage, you take the fucking stage. You are the owner of the stage. The second thing, which seems kind of odd, but it's your voice. And the voice is part A and part B. The voice is your actual voice that comes out of your vocal cords. And part B is your voice, your voice, your point of view, your thoughts on the world as a modern day philosopher.
Oh.
And then the last thing is
we were talking about all that the other day too. Yeah, it's just these modern day philosophers. No, we don't need the gesture on the stage anymore. Yes, authors still write books, okay? But authors also have podcasts that reach far more people than a book can. And because of the low barrier of entry to do it and all that, you get to do it more often, so it's not this concentrated mind map of a book, but in a way it's could be even greater because it's more of your collective consciousness, and it's reaching more people. So
your material and how it's constructed, the lyrics of the song and the composition. So it's the premise that's highly original. It's the phraseology when delivering the jokes where you're hearing phrases that nobody says. And then the punchline that the audience has the puzzle on the table and they can't figure out how to solve the puzzle before you deliver the punchline. And so you had, number one, you owned the stage. Number two, you had a great voice back then. And number three, the part B of that, you didn't have the point of view per se because you weren't old enough. Mm-hmm. And so you really didn't have that, but you did have sort of that thing where you had the point of view of your material was about being a young person, youthful in the world. So I'll give you that. You did have that. And the only thing that I saw that you didn't have as much was that thing that you saw in, let's say, the young people who you respected at the time, like the young Chappelle. Or people like that, where you're like, how does Stephen write?
Carlin?
Chappelle already had that stuff.
He had the thing where you walk on stage, he had the voice, and the voice.
And at 21, he had all the jokes and premises and originality.
But that's rare. And there's exceptions to the rule. You know, because I think comedy is based in truth for the most part. 98% of the comedians that are successful, whatever they say on stage, you need to believe that it's truthful, even if it's a Princess Bride truthful, where you're like, oh, well, this could happen, you know. But like when Chappelle does the crack baby routine, you're like I guess a 4-year-old baby in a diaper could sell crack on the corner. You know,
that's what's the brilliance of Dave, is that he can suspend your belief to it's possibly true.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And so, but then there's the other comedians that their lane is not based in that, and they're the other small percentage. Like, you know, like Stephen Wright, you know, what does he say? I have the oldest typewriter in the world that types in pencil. No, you don't. I went to a restaurant that said breakfast anytime. I ordered French toast during the Renaissance. Well, no, you didn't. Rodney Dangerfield. I was an ugly kid. My dad used to tie a pork chop around my neck to get the dog to play with me. No, you didn't. No, he didn't.
No.
But that lane that you've created, that fucking fantasy world, I'm in. I'm all in on that. So that 2%, those people I'm not talking about, because those are the geniuses who are able to do that. And also...
That's right, Jamie Kennedy. You're not a genius. No matter what Nasia tells you. Okay? Just let it sink in. There's no genius in Jamie Kennedy.
And not to get long-winded, but this is cool too. For those comedy aficionados, it's like the one-liner comedians, they have a paradox that's good and bad. Number one, amazing. They write these jokes and they always kill. The reason why they always kill, the audience can't figure out the puzzle.
100%.
How can you figure out the puzzle when Rodney says, I went to the bartender, I said, surprise me, he pulled out a picture of my wife. 4 seconds. How do you solve the puzzle?
Exactly.
And so they can kill really hard, but they have to write 7 jokes a minute.
So, 100%. 100%.
And so, and for you were more of a storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I know I'm talking a lot, but I think this is important for your audience.
When it's about Jamie, let it out.
Why you're so confusing and challenging to me is because I believe, and I'll say this, when you really want it, you're one of the greatest actors of all the comedians that exist in the world today. I say when you really want it, because I know what's troubling about our profession is that there aren't a lot of roles that you can get that are the roles you want to get. And sometimes you take a role and it's like, I don't know if I can make this one as special as I made the last one.
He does transform.
A lot of times you can't.
The prosthetic man.
But for your audience, just from my observations, you're one of the best actors of any comedian out there. And when you think about it, and I would say, even though I don't know if other people would say this, but we all know you can count them on half a hand, the people who are great actors. Mm-hmm. And you are. And so
didn't Robin Williams do stand-up? I thought he was an amazing actor. And then he's a great voice actor too. So this kind of stuff, man, this is a big old comedy circle jerk. Jamie Kennedy did this with Jeff Dye. Jeff Dye, I love you, man. Like, Jelly Roll. Love you, brother. Jamie Kennedy's like, I love you, Jeff Dye. They're setting the stage. And it seems that the more that they do that, the more that they conflate and inflate their ego there, the bigger the burst when they pop it with what they're about to say later on. So, because he's like, you were really good, it was really amazing, I just couldn't take on any new clients at the time. Okay, so don't get mad, Jamie. You got a nice house. Thank you for letting me on your show. Okay, but I just couldn't represent you. Okay, you weren't that good at the time.
And when you play a role, you fit to any role you play. But the odd part is, somewhere from 32 years ago until now,
he's no longer playing the role, right? He's no longer the person trying to do it. He just is. He's not shouting. He's just settled in, right? It's not forced.
You decided to be the guy who subtly takes the stage and who subtly wins over a crowd and who owns the crowd with a quiet persona and a more like, you're here to see me, it's sold out, you're here to see me, you paid to see me, I'm going to give you a fucking great show, but I'm not going to tap dance for you motherfuckers up here. I'm going to just do it the way I feel like doing it, my way.
Yeah, it's called a podcast stand-up, okay? He has a podcast, and then he goes and does the stand-up, and so it's just like hanging out, okay? That's what I do every time I stream. Okay, I'm up here on stage. I'm standing for hours. Not one written word. Although the last stream I probably could have used a few extra words. So noted, folks, noted. That one was, I was tired. But that's what this is. Okay. So you don't even need to do podcasts. Now, you guys need to do podcasts because I need stuff to stream. Okay. And I am your meta commentary for your content. Just like you guys are the meta content for the TV and film industry. Or stand up. So that means I'm just a bottom feeder. I'm subterranean. Okay. I'm not like the most surface dwellers. Okay. Walking down the streets, I stay below. I'm deep.
And the guy that I first saw was the guy, he still was doing it his way, but he was like, hey, listen, these people are married. Some of them, are don't even have money to, who knows, to pay the gas bill, but they came to see me. So the Jamie, and don't jump over and strangle me, the Jamie that I saw 32 years ago go on that stage was the guy like Sinatra would say. Somebody asked Sinatra, why do we wear tuxes all the time, the opening act? Why do we wear tuxes, Frank? I'll tell you why we wear tuxes. Because those people scrounged up all their fucking money so they could see us and see a show. And God damn it, we're going to give them the fucking best show that they have right now. We're going to give them energy. We're going to give them power. We're going to give them everything we have. We're going to sweat up there. And that's why we wear the tuxes. Mm-hmm. And so that's an anomaly to me about you, because you can go into any part. I could give you a script tomorrow for something where you're functionally special needs. Mm-hmm. And the next day you will walk in and you will, people will be like, what the fuck just happened? It's just insane. How did he create that character like that? Whatever. But I feel like sometimes when you go on stage and you still, the crowds love you, but it almost feels like, well, what? Why? He can play anything he wants up here, but he's choosing to play the guy who is safe and comfortable in his own environment. And I've still been challenged with that every time I see you, because and your audience should know this. I swear to you, you're the only guy I know like that, who has all these different gifts and all these different, like you go in this house here, okay? This isn't a house that's put together by fleas holding hands. This isn't a house that is put together without thought. This podcast studio is, I'll just tell you right now, this is my 4th podcast today.
Which is crazy.
Okay? And there's nothing.
Oh my God. His 4th one today. Wow. So the old podcast world, the potent podcast landscape, it's not diluted like Bill Maher's drinks. Yeah, this is just a bit of a, the whole industry handshake.
There is nothing.
Whoa. All right, Barry. What do we got going on here? No, I wasn't going to mention it, but his skin's looking a little. You need to. That's the N95. Okay, after you breathe in with one of those things for a couple of years, you start doing that stuff, huh?
Okay. And there's nothing.
Oh my God. All right. Setting up my slideshow here, folks. This is let's see if we can get. Do you think Jamie Kennedy would ever do something like this, huh? Barry? No!
And there's nothing.
Wow.
And there's nothing.
Why do you force it out like that? Look at that. This is very difficult for him. How many protests have you been in? Okay, between him and Lisa Kudrow. See if I can find on my slideshow. See if we can find the slideshow with Lisa Kudrow. Try to change it up here real quick. Wonder if it added, but it was scary. Did you see this? Oh my God. Look at that. See the Lisa Kudrow one. These are people who, they're like screamers. Sorry, I'm just flipping through the slideshow. Let's see if I got it here. It's on random, so I, just like the club. So I'm just seeing if it's here. Oh man, should have figured out a different way to find it. Oh, do you guys see this? Look at that. So I got these shots here of, oh man, it just reset. Well, you see, sticking the tongue out on the side with that side hustler guy, or whatever his name is. He's always going to the garage sales. Well, Harlan Williams on his podcast started putting people's tongue on the side of their mouth like that. I can't flip it through it. Okay, but they're all like, ah, get out, ice. See what they do? They destroy their own bodies just to for their party. Okay, that's a cult, not me. Okay, you should not castrate yourself and do stuff like that.
Nothing.
Yeah, so look at the way he says it.
And there's nothing.
Nothing. It's the thing.
Thing. And there's nothing.
Really big emphasis on that. It's a little streaming magic here, folks. Okay. Don't do it often, but when I do, I'm reminded of just how much I love this medium. This way of exploring.
There is nothing that compares to how beautiful and the level of detail that you put into this podcast studio.
Well, that's Kyle. He's the designer.
Oh, there's the designer. Now, I thought for sure Nasia was the designer. So Kyle is to blame for this very bright blue, high gloss, high sheen, highly reflective white boxes everywhere. Barry Catz. Okay, you've been in the show business. You've produced TV shows. Tell me, how many reflective pieces of furniture do you have on set? Okay, that's a lighting control no. Okay, that's like trying to record your vocals in a sound studio and it doesn't have the egg cartons out on the walls. Okay, you don't do that. It's too, like, I even got a little bit of a glare on my screen. Okay, so you gotta go muted.
Yeah, but he's the designer, and somebody has to say yes to the design.
Yeah, I love it, obviously.
And so, and no disrespect to you, Kyle, because it's amazing. But the point being is that everything here is first class. And every time I meet you, you're first class. Every role you take on,
oh my God,
seems like you just put, when it's a role that you really love and not one, because respect outlasts cash a lot of times or whatever. you bring it.
You mean the Harlan and William one? See, he's like, oh, the one that you just did cash. That one wasn't. Yeah. Why is there so much ass kissing here? Exactly. This is industry slang. Okay, you can't criticize your peers because you might one day do a project together. Okay, so you got to burn your bridges, like Joe Rogan said. Please don't do anything that Joe Rogan says. But you gotta burn those bridges if you're going to be a comedian. Okay? Oh, Shai's thinking that Barry Catz is looking for a project. Well, they could be working in cahoots. This could be a comedian cahoot with the content house. Maybe Barry Catz will be executive producer because he's seen the 17 cameras. Okay, I know Jamie is chomping at the bit to tell him about his passion projects. If he hasn't already, I'm sure he has. And maybe this is why he's going on and on and on, because Jamie Kennedy has already approached Barry Catz and asked if he would like to produce his content house. He's thinking of a whole production where they set cameras up in the whole house, film it like it's real world or fish tank, and people are there, they're living there. We know about it, Jamie. Why aren't you talking about it? He's keeping his projects close to the chest. His chest. My chest. But maybe Barry Catz is doing all this because he's going to let him down. Easy. Okay, we're going to inflate your ego. And then I'm going to have to pop it because I can't be part of your content house project. I'm a professional. Jamie Kennedy. Why don't you talk to Seth or Sam Hyde?
And on stage, there's some kind of persona that says, I'm going to let them come to me. They're here to see me. I'm going to let them come to me.
Come here.
And you're the only guy I know.
The only one, Jamie.
And tell me if I'm wrong.
You're wrong. You are wrong. You are so wrong. Okay? Every comedian has done that. I've seen plenty of comedians do amazing roles in TV and film. And they would stop you 2 seconds into this spiel, this little, slop spiel, and say, stop with your slop. It's too much. Let's just talk about stuff. Okay? I wouldn't want people to be talking about me to me. Okay? That's what talking about someone is, it's otherwise you're talking to. instead of about. So you're talking about the person to the person, and you're, like Phoebe on Friends, completely disassociated from the given situation. You're just like, no, yes, yeah, okay, yeah, no, yeah, sure, okay, yeah. Well, that's good for you, okay. Okay, you just have a conversation. Barry Catz. Think about the audience for once. Okay, you've done 4 of these podcasts. You should know that as a listener, I've had to stop doing my intros because Kurt Metzger is getting demonetized on his YouTube channel because of his AI intros. Now, I don't have AI intros, okay? But they, I guess, might not like slideshows either. Are you kidding me? Those slideshows are mine. Okay, they're not AI slideshows. Those are snapshots of the people that we've covered. And I like to show it as an intro with some music. But they're trying to take that away from me. But I, too, would, as a listener, after the live stream, would get kind of annoyed at the intro. I always skip the intro. Okay, please skip the intro. I don't know if I did one today. But I don't know what I was saying.
First of all, I have so many emotions right now. I didn't know I was going to have an afternoon therapy session, but I love you.
Oh, I love you. So there's the Jeff Dye love. And I was going to say, okay, tell you if you're wrong, you're wrong. Okay? You're wrong, Barry Catz, you're wrong. Now, you're talking to someone who is in Jamie Kennedy's corner. Okay? I'm in the content house corner. And I'm in that little corner saying, hey, you can do it, you can do it. All right, Jamie Kennedy's cleaning up the streets of Hollywood. Okay? He is collecting these stray cats, these leftover actors that are just looking for some projects. And saying, hey, well, just come on the pod. Come on the pod. Now, he doesn't realize that he's bringing them to their house, bringing them to his house. And they don't really want to leave because it's really nice. And mainly, because it is Jamie's content house. Woo! All right, so he's got a second house. Okay, this is his second house. He's not telling people about it. So he's not living here. Or is he? Maybe he had to sell it. It was just too expensive in Los Feliz. But yeah, I would like to fast forward this stuff.
I mean,
but then I'd miss something like this. Okay, this is why we have to just watch it, because the comedy is within the minutia. See, comedy is truth. It's not forced. It's an energy. And it hits you when you least expect it. Try to figure that puzzle out, Barry.
This is.
Whoa. Hold on a second. Did not realize that he was going to stall out there. That was like me last night.
session, but I love you. I mean, this is
Where's the release? Where's the release? He's just like,
Now, I didn't know I was going to have an afternoon therapy session, but I love you. I mean, this is.
There needs to be one more.
An afternoon therapy session, but I love you. I mean, this is.
He didn't do the last one. Oh my God. So that's how you know it's not genuine. Oh.
I mean, this is.
Wow. I want some music to that. See if this works.
Yeah, I'm so fresh like the morning. Mouth wide open like they yawning. Every time they see me, they in deep fried. Homie, this is too far. Homie, I feel too alive.
Okay. That's just too much. And what's this little... He looks like a little strange Disney character with that weird haircut. Who was that guy that had that strange cut looking like early days of Lady Gaga? Well, and also with comedy, is it Despicable Me? With see, look at that hair. Oh my God, that's funny. But also with this, there's coincidences that happen in comedy. Okay. A nice little coincidental moment there with the music actually narrating the moment.
That was the most beautiful compliment. Thank you. Like, thank you. 80% of that I don't have to swallow because it was just beautiful, like giving me flowers. And there's 30% of it that I do have to swallow. So let me play it back for you.
Whoa, wait.
It's so crazy, first of all. That also, you're amazing.
Wait, what is he going to say? Oh, sorry. I missed that. He's going to tell you why he is all the things that he said. And look at that. There's his smolder. Okay, he's got the smolder up. So that's when you know that he really liked what you said, and he's trying to reflect that essence that you never have.
30% of it, swallow you. That was this. Now, I didn't know I was going to have an afternoon therapy session, but I love you.
All right, let me hear the question that he said, though.
It does that. And I'm kind of persona that says, I'm going to let them come to me. They're here to see me. I'm going to let them come to me. And you're the only guy I know that does that. And tell me if I'm wrong.
First of all, I have so many emotions right now. I didn't know I was going to have an afternoon therapy session, but I love you. I mean, this is, that was the most beautiful compliment. Thank you. Like, thank you. 80% of that I don't have to swallow because it was just beautiful, like giving me flowers. And there's 20-30% of it that I do have to swallow. So let me play it back for you.
Please don't. Oh my God.
It's so crazy, first of all. That also what you're amazing at is that your ability to take a conversation, go off on 2 tangents, and go back and remember it. That's a skill. When I went off SNL, I went absolutely berserk. It was me.
A skill I didn't have last night.
Molly Shannon. Janine Garofalo had already gotten it and left. No. And I think this was the year they brought in Sarah Silverman. It was easy. I was like one of 2 dudes. It was at the comedy club. I had impressions. I went characters. Nothing else, like you said. And Chris Farley was... I do remember meeting you that night, and you were so sweet and encouraging. Chris Farley, sweet, encouraging.
Chris Farley and Lauren were in the crowd.
Lauren, you know, he's a tough cookie, but I didn't bug him.
But Chris was laughing his ass off.
I can't believe that.
I remember that. He was laughing his ass off at you.
Come on, man. That's making me go cry. It's a huge compliment.
And Jay Mohr has this quote about Chris Farley in his book, and you know this. And then when you see Chris Farley laugh, Jay said, he is a wrecking ball of joy.
He so is. He so is. To get him to laugh and to grab my hand and he's like, yeah, it was great, man. Really, it was so good, man. Like he made me feel, and it was later. It was like we were done at like 11:30. It was like how comedy should be, and he made me feel so loved that if I worked, it worked. If I didn't, I didn't. But I gave my shot. Now, clearly, 2 days.
And we were just talking about Chris Farley the other day on the last stream. So here we are with this given your flowers, okay, and finding out that one of your icons laughed at your stuff. Who did that with? Someone did that with the Godfather actor, whatever his name is. Marlon Brando. The other some other interview that we watched had he said that he made Marlon Brando laugh. But so good on him. So he had Lauren Michaels there. He had Chris Farley who laughed. And then he had a manager see it all. And he still didn't get picked up by Barry Catz.
Days later, I got the call, and Lauren said I didn't do enough political impressions, which no one told me to prepare. And that was it. And I thought the whole angle was they were going to sneak me in as a young, raw piece of talent, get the woman they wanted. Molly had gone the year before and didn't get it. So this was her second time. That being said, the actor on stage is truthful. I'm so honored what you say. Barry, I did that audition, okay? I had gone through different things. I had done every open mic.
Didn't know it was going to be like this.
I did that audition, and I remember sitting in front of the Comedy Store in like June of 1994 after getting like, please allow Jamie Kennedy 5 minutes. And I looked up and I said, well, I didn't get SNL. What am I going to do? And then I went and I signed up again for open mic after SNL. And I was completely lost. And what you're saying is so beautiful. I think there's certain things I have questions about, but as you become your own person, yes. Do I give it my all every time? No.
Oh.
Should I? Yes. It's not. Are you saying I'm late? It's like maybe you're saying I'm lazy.
What?
But
no, you've matured. You don't have to force it. You're not indicating. Okay, it was a compliment. He was saying at the beginning. Okay, you're not anything like you were when I first met you. When I first met you, you were energetic. You commanded the stage. You played a character. You had all. And Jamie's like, well, wait, hold on. Those are good things. No, he's saying you've kind of settled into it. Okay, you don't. But Jamie still wants approval. Okay, that's why he likes the compliments. That's why he likes the long drawn out word salad of a hello. And now what? He's like, well, wait, I'm lazy. No, he's saying that you, with energy and magnetism, it's cultivated from within and it radiates out. You're not out there trying to grab it and trying to get people to come and see you, and you're working really hard to do all this. You're just there. You're doing your thing. They're there to see you, and it's natural. Unlike the first 10 minutes of this podcast. So,
I don't even know how to answer that because I think there's a lot of truth to it, and I've given it my all, like through my shows and my roles. I think part of me would give it his all so much, and I was rewarded in so many ways, but part of me did not get rewarded, and the town did not care. And when you go crazy and the town doesn't care, it takes the wind out of your sails.
It's unbelievable what you just said. It's the reason,
because it has nothing to do with what he was saying. You completely missed the point, Jamie. Okay, you have a maturity to you, but
why I'm speechless, and I'm embarrassed that your audience has to have me speechless. But again, not to go back to the home, but let's just forget the home. You just moved in here, and there is no less than probably 500 pieces of memorabilia from Jamie's career. Probably 1,000.
Whoa.
And I'm sitting across
he likes his compliments.
And you just told me that a part of you wasn't rewarded. What part wasn't rewarded?
Meaning, no matter how big of a movie I was in,
no matter how hard you try, you're just not going to live up to Barry Catz's sense of what it takes to be signed by him, okay?
Or how respected that movie was. I had to dance my dick off after time and time and time and time. And I always planned on dancing. And at some point, you're like, I got a body of work here. Can we just have a meeting? And I was so spoiled in the beginning of my career because I worked with auteurs. Okay. Do you know what it's like to go and here? So when you see me from there, things happen, whatever. It was your clients, owned MTV. Lisa Berger, love you, gave us a lot of breaks. Harlan had a holding deal. Dave had a holding deal. Jay Mohr, I think, had a holding deal. And Jim Breuer, which you probably represent, had a holding deal. I was added to that mix. as a pilot presentation. I did this whole thing. It didn't get picked up. She was great. But from there, Tammy Billick, amazing, saw it, gave me to Ron, God rest his soul, who's doing the Married with Children spinoff called, you know what it is, Unhappily Ever After. From there, Jenica Berger, my ex-girlfriend, pushed me in front of Stan Latham. And I got to work with people. Tammy casted Ellen. Jeremy Piven was, before he was Jeremy Piven, Jolie Fisher, all in these movies, and these shows. And Ellen was like, this guy's funny. I did one episode. She goes, give him another line. So I did that. Then she's like, that guy's funny, bring him back. I was raised under Ellen, okay, who is one of the most unique, creative, just funny. I don't think she curses. Just funny. I don't care what people say about her and all this stuff. That's a different, whatever their experience. My experience is as a woman who gave me a shot, and I asked her, I said, why are you so giving? And she goes, because if you're funny, the whole show's funnier. And I was like, that is so secure, right?
That's not Jimmy Kennedy. The voice is wrong. Yeah. This is a Kennedy clone. Okay, Jimmy, your voice has too much testosterone in it. You're much squeakier. Or are you just trying to have a bit more baritone for Barry Catz with the Z?
How many people do you meet like that, right? So I started doing stuff, and then when I got my first movie, I auditioned for Baz Luhrmann at the Chateau. And it wasn't anything, it was just like, he came in, he saw me running around his room, he had a camera, his assistant, he was like, shout this line, shout this line. And then he said, do you think you'd have a good time in Mexico? And I said, I think so. And every week he'd call and he says, I like that guy, and he kept telling me, agent. Boom, I got the role, working, Leo's about to become a superstar, you know, Dash is blowing up, John Leguizamo. But he's like you. He curates us. Wes Craven, the same thing. I think you're really interesting. Eventually get the role. He curates us. What do you want to try? Tony Scott. Hey, little motherfucker. Yeah,
all right, so he's going through his whole thing here.
David O. Russell. 2 roles I read. 9 o'clock, Warner Brothers.
Oh, okay. So whenever you get this is why you never want to be a manager or a producer, because all your guys' conversations goes into this sing-song resume. So he's like, yeah, and I had this director say this about me. And yes, I didn't get the part, but he said this.
At night, go take a piss. He goes, that's either one, you're not right for these. CIA gave you the wrong fucking sides. Take this one. Take a piss. I'm taking a piss. Hits him in the back 20 minutes later. You memorize it yet? I mean, these are the rooms I...
So he's like, oh, God. Look at that. That's a man who just did the 4th podcast, and you're not giving him anything to engage with, okay? He basically did a big old volley up to you, and now you're just, look at the ball, yay, okay, and he's just like, all right, well, you're gonna pass it on back? And you're like, yeah, and these are other things I did too. And then, oh, look at, I'm bouncing my ball by myself. Okay. Hit it back to Barry.
Grew up in. These are real auteurs. Ben Younger, Antoine Fuqua, give me more. You know what I mean? Like David, I mean, I can't stop naming them. They saw us like you. That's why you were last. And they molded us. And they saw something raw. I watched David and George Clooney. It was a legendary fight I almost got into. But that was nothing to me. Frank Oz, Miss Piggy, Yoda, a million things. It took me under his wing. Steve Martin. So all of these people, by the time I was 29 years old, had given me a lot of confidence.
And apparently you need it. Okay? God. Just talk about something else. Okay? If you get half of the comments that I get in my comment section, you'd be in the corner crying in your content house. And we'd see it live. Okay? Just grow a pair.
And they were so encouraging to be myself. So when I would go out and then read for a guest spot and TV people were overthinking everything, it got discouraging. I'm not saying I'm not rewarded. I've had a great life and I have a great life. But what I mean is I've gotten blessed by so many people, and our business, and you have to admit this, became the land of overthinking. And I'll give you a great example. 2019, I'm reading for a TNT show.
Oh, God.
I had a TNT in the morning for like this director that did a lot of coke. Think of somebody in our business, you know, and he's got 2 strippers, and he's like, I don't know, she came over here last night, she died, I don't know, she was a crazy bro, whatever. People are laughing. It's like season 7. It would have been like a cool like 3 arc, right? Tape. Oh, Jimmy Kennedy's on a TNT drama. I then go in the afternoon and have a meeting with James Gray, the casting director, and his wife. And he spends 20 minutes just talking to me. Find out what I like, what I don't like. In a bungalow, having a coffee. Want some coffee? All right, you want to try some stuff? Okay, try this then. Don't say that. What would you say? Well, how would you say that?
Does he sound a bit different?
You like Brad Pitt?
Do I have the speed on? It's on normal. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's just in his compliment register. Okay. This is, woo! I got some compliments. And, you know, people in LA are not very complimentary with their compliments. Actually, they are. They have a big old smile on their face, and then when they turn away, the smile just drops. You know. He doesn't sound normal. He sounds gross. Yeah. There's something's happening here. He's like, wait. Oh, Barry Catz likes me. He represented Whitney Cummings. I poached an intern from Whitney Cummings to design my... Or I poached an intern from Whitney Cummings to design my set. I too could be represented by Barry Catz. Jamie Kennedy's a bit self-absorbed. Okay, Barry Catz is saying, wow, there's got to be at least 700 separate pieces of memorabilia of you around here. I mean, get a roommate. Okay, the roommate would have to say, wow, stop. So what I'm hoping is that this is truly his content house. Okay, he's got you know, photos and relics of all of his past exploits. And he'll be watching from the command center of his other home. Because there's no way that he lives in this home with all this stuff about him everywhere. Because that would be crazy, right? That would truly be beyond narcissistic. This is he's cocooning within his own embryo. He is going full egg, and he is wanting to be rebirthed within the content home. Cocoon. Content cocoon. Because who else would have a bunch of stuff of their own endeavor? You know, I got stuff tucked away. Okay, I've had moments, okay, folks, as we all have had moments where you get to kind of check something off of your old bucket list. The things that the goal, you know, you strive for, the goals that you set, and over time you realize, oh wait, crazy, I'm doing that thing that I wanted to do years ago. But I'm not making a shrine of everything, okay? I'm man in motion, okay? I'm not stagnant like these sitters, these podcasters. Podcasting's out. Okay, we need some energy. We need some IRL. You ain't getting no IRL from me. This is IRL. I'm, you know, but I'm not going to be interviewed. I'm not going to answer questions. Okay, I'm going to commentate. Speak my mind. My point of view. Okay, we need to have a point of view. And people are saying that Jimmy Kennedy is sus. Okay, he's wanting something.
You think you can roll with him? You know what I mean? Like, this is, and I was like, oh God, this is like 1999 again. Like, I'm dealing with somebody who has complete, and the casting director loved me, so artistic. I go home. The next day, TNT calls my agent, goes, Jamie is great, but he's too on the nose. And he says, but James Gray just offered you the role. So I had a week of...
How can you have Barry Catz go from... I mean, good God, where was that? So far away. This far? How far? I mean, it's not even showing it anymore when he used to laugh. Okay, wow, that was such a long time ago. So you got Barry Catz. You know, this
what
is
I said by squandering.
He's got like no energy. Because you're talking about yourself the whole time.
All right. And it's beautiful that you said that.
I don't know if I want to be right,
But wait, do you think you really think? First of all, you call me an artist, which is really sweet of you. But do you really think I'm that confusing? Do you feel like I'm like squandering or something?
It's interesting that you define what I said by squandering.
Well, Sandy, what's her last name? Sandy, you know her? She used to open for me sometimes. Beautiful woman. I can't believe I'm forgetting it. She was a Raiderette.
Can I just tell you in your audience?
And she would tell me to dance and do more dancing.
No. You're gonna love, your audience is gonna love this. Please don't lose your place though.
Yeah.
What he just said just reminded me of something.
Talking about how awesome you are.
Deepness. People better
so
watch this.
It's not
I
deep.
meet Gene Simmons, and he invites me to his house. And I asked him what his most memorable experience in his career was involving a woman.
Oh.
Now, that's a general question, and it could be answered any way possible. Mm-hmm. And I never knew how he was going to answer, but he was just talking about women throughout the meeting, so I just asked him. And he's told me the story. He said that when he was doing a show later on in Kisses or in Madison Square Garden, he always loved New York because he could go to the grocery store at 4 o'clock in the morning and get whatever he wanted. Makeup's off and he's doing it. So he's in the grocery store and he hears, Gene. And he's looking around. He was calling him, whatever. He's doing some more shopping. Gene. And he's looking around. He can't find him. And he's like, what the fuck is going on? Gene. And then he just stares straight ahead. And at the end of the aisle, there's a woman with one of those walkers with the tennis balls on the bottom. And she's coming around. And she's coming towards him. She's like, Gene, you remember me? And he's like, no, honey, I don't remember you.
So it's like
1973, Brennan Burn Arena. I was in the front row. Your bouncers brought me backstage, and you fucked me on the couch in the dressing room before the show.
And what did he say?
It was just, I was just
I'm pretty
shocked.
sure that he told me not just a mother and not just a daughter, a grandmother. So he started with that, and it could be that lady. He did a grandmother, then when the mother grew up, the mother came to the show, he did the mother, and then when the daughter. So, I mean, that's not surprising. That's so funny.
But anyway, I'm not talking about you squandering. What I will say this, though, if you'll allow me to speak freely.
No, I won't. Go ahead. Right. Speak freely.
This is like
I didn't expect it to go like this, but I like it.
I just want you to know, in this studio, this is like literally the control room of the Super Bowl in here. It's unbelievable. It's incredible.
I gotta monetize it.
You'll do anything you want. But I think that when I think of you, I think of somebody who, I mean, the canvas is like wide open. It's like it's unbelievable. I mean,
come on,
think
just get
about
through
it.
Go.
Is there a skill set that you haven't exhibited to the business?
I'm not an artist, and I'm not a musician.
Okay.
And you don't have any stillness, and you're not masculine, you're not in shape, hasn't exhibited muscle.
Is there a skill set that you haven't exhibited?
Like health? Being awake. Actually, he's gotten better. When we first started covering Jimmy Kennedy, he always was really tired. Now, I'm sure it's because he was traveling and touring. And coming on the podcast, rubbing his face, rubbing his eyes, picking his nose. I've got all the shots.
So the business.
I'm not an artist, and I'm not a musician.
Okay, so you don't do music.
No, but I can sing.
And you don't draw things.
Yeah, no. For everything else, I mean, I don't really.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, it's really important to be able to draw things as an actor. They have the actors do that all the time.
Really play instruments either.
So let's analyze this if you don't mind.
I like it, but I got a lot of questions for you, but go for it.
Yeah. The 100% pie that we talked about of all the comedians in the country. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it this way. How many comedians have worked with the people that you listed?
Not many. Not many.
Oh,
I thought
God.
about that. Not many at all.
Okay. How many comedians have had their own show where they get to host it and they get to play characters and they get to prank people?
Very rare. Very
Okay.
rare.
All right. How many comedians have acted in, I believe you've been in over 30 movies?
More than that, but yeah.
How many do you know?
Not many.
All right. I believe you've done over 150 or 200 episodes of television.
Probably. Did you do
How
research?
many comedians? I do a lot of research. How many comedians you know have done that?
A lot. A lot.
There'd be more comedians that have done that. Have they done that many? I don't know.
Yes.
And now the younger group wouldn't care about it.
Well, you could be comedians had their own shows. Okay, they had their own show. Seinfeld. Okay, Martin Lawrence. Okay, these are all comedians who are actors, and they carried the show. Yes, Jamie Kennedy dressed up and was the X Factor, but you know, there's people who had the pressure of a network television contract hanging over their head. Okay, you're on FX back when it wasn't cool.
Right. And now let's go to the final question. How many comedians out of that 100% pie
Illuminati.
have done all of the things I've mentioned? Zero. Maybe if there's
my God.
5, it's a miracle. Okay? Maybe if there's 10, it's a fluke. So you're in rarefied air. So now you have the opportunity to do anything that you want. Anything you want. I know it doesn't seem that way.
I should have watched the Kurt Metzger drop. Why did I? Oh man, I thought this was gonna be some good old industry. Gonna talk about, you know, the problems with comedy. Comedy's back. Comedy's back, folks. It could be better. And I think it will be better once stand-up subsides. Okay? It's too much. Too many people out there yapping. Like we give a shit. Perform. Do something. Play the piano. You're just standing there talking with the microphone like this. You're just like, and then this, and the other day, my therapist said that.
No, I feel
But
like
you could put together you could write a screenplay, which you probably have tons that you're blowing the dust off of in your office as you're moving, where there's an incredible character with an incredible arc for yourself and great roles for people who you know, and you met so many people along the way that literally you...
Man, no wonder Whitney Cummings signed on to him. Oh, just imagine, this is probably where he got this from. He had to calm Whitney Cummings down all the time. So I don't know what to do. People don't like me, and they're not laughing at my joke when I grab my vagina and, slam it on the ground. And he's just like, you are, how many people do you know who have had 2 television network shows airing at the same time? He's had to do this to all of his clients, but he learned it from Whitney Cummings. Yeah, he knows how to calm the crazies. And Jimmy Kimming's like, yeah, that's right. I have achieved a lot. Yeah, not many people. No, there isn't any other comedians that have achieved what I have achieved. I'm Jimmy Kennedy. I mean, the way that Barry Catz is talking about him, he should be on Mount Rushmore.
You could put together a movie in what I would say seconds.
Hold on, I have to jump in. First of all, again, I love you. You're very complimentary. I do say that. Someone said this to me the other day, Chad. He said, dude, what haven't you done in the business? And I pride myself on being able to have done so much different stuff. I even had a record deal at Warner Brothers, and I wrote a book. So I'm fortunate. And it's a Gemini in me. I believe David Lynch, God rest his soul, he's one of the model artists because he did so many things. He was even a painter. So listen, there's more talented people. I think you know everyone who's talented though, obviously. But there are more talented people that are getting the thing is that Barry, you don't think I've done all this? I try to put movies together. How many scumbags are in our business? You try to raise the money. How many people fall through? Then you can make the movie. Then how do you get distribution? You try to get distribution. They shelve it. There's so many things. I'm not taking no for an answer. Plus then we had COVID. Plus then all this stuff happened. And my beliefs have changed. The world is wild. And you're not.
That's right. We're not doing movies anymore. For all those reasons and more. So, but do it at the pods. Too many pods.
Wrong. But to act like we're going to go pre-2019 and be like, here we are again. Let's do a sitcom and let's do a rom-com. What's the last rom-com you saw, Bear? When's the last comedy you saw, Bear? Talk to me. When have you seen comedic stars just blow up in the movies? I mean, the whole business has shifted. You have to admit this.
I know, but who shifts the business?
The people on the fringe. Okay? The outskirts. We're able to see things objectively. And strategically. Place ourselves. No strategy here, folks. I got no strategy. I'm with the flow. I'm go where the wind goes. I'm solar. Okay. Winter, I'm lunar. Now I'm solar. But Barry's wringing his hands. He's like, I know the industry is shifting because I haven't had my projects get picked up. And he's like, you kind of have a good setup here, Jamie. Interesting. Oh, Jamie, you're so amazing. Oh, yeah. Hey, can you tell me how you do this? It's like Rogan with Tom Green. Before Joe Rogan started podcasting, he was on Tom Green's show, and Joe Rogan was like, wow, Tom Green, this is amazing. This is, again, this is 20 years ago, whenever he, wow, so you just broadcast on your home, you invite people over and you just do these interviews? Yeah, man, eh? Yeah. For sure, eh? Wow, that's so cool. Gotta go. And he's like, bah, bah. It's like, okay. He's in his 911 manual. So Barry's doing the same thing. This is his 4th podcast. So he's seeing how people are doing it. Okay, he hasn't quite figured it out for himself yet. He's started it. He knows how to do it, but he's just not getting the numbers. Okay, it's not paying like network television used to pay. So he's going around to the different podcasts, checking them out, and whoa, Jimmy Kennedy, you kind of went all out, didn't you? Jamie's like, yeah, I love LA. I love Los Angeles. Everyone loves Los Angeles. No one's ever going to leave it. It's the best place ever. Harlan Williams is like, yeah, we're out. Moving to Austin.
Artists shift the business. Geniuses shift the business.
We should, but there's a...
We should. Oh, including yourself in that. No. No, Jamie. That little spark of genius has been stomped out a long time ago. Okay? It's beneath all of those. It's hidden deep beneath all of those flower pattern short sleeve button down shirts you've got. No genius will ever wear their shirt unbuttoned enough to show their blank medallion. It's got nothing on there. He's like, it's the geniuses and artists. Yeah. We really, okay.
Artists shift the business.
Wow. Look at it. He's all, puffed out. But another thing that us geniuses think is the poofier the couch, the better.
a comedy at Paramount.
Wait a second. Stop. You know that old adage, and your audience will know it.
My audience. You love my audience.
I love your audience because they love you. What's the thing?
I haven't asked you one question I wanted to ask.
Is it, you got plenty of time. Kyle, and there he's back there. He's getting so pissed off. He just got a 7-day waiting period for a handgun. But what's the? It's the dog. The dog with the collar is fed and
Pavlov
and this
he shocked the dog.
Oh, let me look.
No,
so
let
the
him finish.
The
dog with the collar is the one who gets fed because he has a home. He's got people taking care of him. Okay, the ones who do not have a collar, they've got to scavenge and they're scrappy. Okay, so you are soft and domesticated, Jamie, is what he's trying to say. You genius, huh? Sure. triple digit IQ tell you that?
Normally have a collar, they have a master, they're fed, they're rested, whatever. And the wolf has no collar, is starving, and searching for food and whatever. But when the wolf runs into the dog, the wolf still chooses its life because he doesn't want to wear the fucking collar.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying about Jamie's outfit. Look at his collar. He's got that massive collar out. You don't see me wearing no fucking collar. You a collar boy. You ain't no genius. Domesticated little chihuahua. You yelp anytime you see your shadow. You're like spinning.
Pavlov.
You're like spinning around trying to find a seat on your couch. Little pup.
And have a collar. They have a master. They're fed. They're rested. Whatever. And the wolf has no collar. Is starving, and searching for food and whatever. But when the wolf runs into the dog, the wolf still chooses its life because he doesn't want to wear the fucking collar.
Sigma
he doesn't
for life.
want anybody to be his master. And so when you say, what am I going to do, sell it to Paramount? Forget these people.
There you go.
Forget everybody. Just we're just talking about you. I don't even care if you have a crew that shoots things on their iPhone. It's like
there you go.
You have so many relationships and you have so much comedy in you and you're so...
No, he's like, no, don't worry about those people. Just, you're good. Okay, well, I got to go. That's what he says to people he can't sign on. He's like, don't worry about these studios now. You got it all. Just keep doing you. Gotta go. He's like, but no, that's what I've been saying too. Is you don't need any of that stuff. You just do it yourself.
I mean, there's so many things that you do, and comedians look up to you. Young comedians look up to you, and imagine. I just went to the 30th anniversary of Jerry Maguire with Jay Mohr and Cameron Crowe were there. And you look at the movie, if you really study the movie, it's Tom Cruise and all these unknown people, Donna Logue, Renee Zellweger, Jay Mohr, who else? The guy Ari Spears, the guy with the jazz tapes. Cuba Gooding Jr. wasn't known. But not that well known. Bonnie Hunt.
Mm-hmm. A lot of comedians in there.
And so it's like, and Toby Huss.
Wow.
And so Jerry O'Connell.
Mm-hmm.
And a person, Cameron, giving these people the opportunity, just like those auteurs gave you the opportunity. And what I'm...
Jamie, help me help you. Help me help you. Help me help you, Jamie. I just want to say, shut up. Just shut up. You had me at hello. You had me at hello.
Just suggesting you try on is that you're a guy who's an auteur, and there's a ton of brilliant people out there who are looking to be mentored and brought into this business by somebody who has the wherewithal and the knowledge and the skill and the power that you do.
Teach us, Jamie. Teach us. Teach us. Comedy Professor Jamie, I got a question. Sir, with all your genius glory, how can you be funny? Okay. Andy Dick trying to crash on the couch, the content couch, is not people vying for Jamie Kennedy's his playbook. Barry, what are you doing, man? You're embarrassing yourself, Barry. Okay? You're better than this. Why are you punching down?
And I would love to see you direct one of your projects that you've written from the past and look at all of them and maybe go through a rewrite from a draft you have in the past, get a think tank together and friends of yours and punch it up. And I would love for you to find like this skeleton crew. Fuck everybody else. Just do your own thing. And what's happening? What's going on here? Yeah, Jamie Kennedy's making a movie. He is? Where is he going to? No, he's got to doing it himself, and he's cast all these people, and he's directing it.
Barry's going in like a, self-help kind of motivational speaker mode here. Okay, he's in the manager private session mode. And he's like, you can do it. You just do it. But Jamie Kennedy just got done saying how difficult it is to do all that stuff because the industry's not there. Okay. There's no structural support system within the industry to be able to do the films and be the independent thing. I mean, there is. But I think you have to go about it a different way.
And he wrote it, and he's editing it, and he's, choosing the music in it, and it's like, holy shit, he is?
Okay, so stay there. Make my movie.
There it is.
I'm a part of a movie. I have a very small cameo in it with a really great cast that I helped put together.
Make my money.
I help find the money and stuff. And so that I do this off and on.
You help find the money for somebody else and not your own project.
I will, but this is an excellent script. And it could get festivals. But let's say you're correct. You're correct. So make my own movie, which I've done a few times. So I'm saying, I make my own movie. I can do it.
And then what?
And it's got to be seen, Barry. It's got to be seen.
It's got to be good.
You know as well as I do. If you have your way and you have your focus and you're as extraordinary as you know you are.
Oh, God. We got the angles. And we got the angle. Man, it's been a while since I've seen an angle man. Not too many people doing the lean back, showing them angles. We got it, folks. We got an angle man. It's been a while. Pretty sure Mersh was the last one. Okay. Joe Rogan with the okay, but when they are stretching, okay, they got the Kundalini got rung up the bell there, and so they're feeling good, stretching out, yeah, that feels good. Yeah, you're right. I have done some movies. I have, yes, Barry, I've done some movies. Yes, I've done that stuff. Every time they do this. Every time. Oh.
So it said, Dane Cook got this beautiful.
Dane Cook's got one of the best houses in L.A.
Uh-oh. Did I just skip it? Oh, where'd it go?
Inspections. You're looking for what wall to put something on.
Gotta be seen.
If you know as well as I do, if you have your way and you have your as extraordinary as you know you are.
You're extraordinary, Jamie.
Get a helmet, buddy. If you know as well as I do, if you have your way and you have your focus and you're as extraordinary as you know you are.
Oh, man. Life is good when you are hitting them angles. Let me get a real good one here. Move the cursor out. Angle man! Yeah! That's right. Ooh, life is good. Show them 60 degrees, 30 degrees. See, me, I'm 45. I'm like, no, officer, I swear. Okay. I'm not, yeah. I'm like, oh, no, we're all good. Okay. So, you're not going to see no sacred geometry on me. It's amazing.
Get a helmet, buddy.
I love
you are.
One more time. Get it. Big puff. There it is. Big puff.
Get a helmet, buddy.
I love you. And listen, I mean,
quit saying
my
that.
ego didn't need inflating, and sure got it today. And I love you for this. And you're right.
So the fourth time you said you loved him.
You know what? It's so much I could say to this, but you are right. I think I question a lot of things right now, and you're right.
Yeah,
and I'm not into drugs.
Like the validity of what he's saying.
I'm not, I don't have any personal mental. I mean, I'm crazy, but I don't have.
But this is what happens with people.
No.
It's like their mind. If their mind is this,
Yeah.
It's mush.
What defines somebody who's successful and not successful? There's two things that happen in your mind. I mean, there's only two things. There's
God, look at those fingers.
Except there's two.
What the heck? Watch what he just did right there. It separated way too. I'm just like a regular V, okay? But then he went V and then whoom, like capital V.
Except there's two things.
It was like.
Except there's two.
Right there. Wow.
Things.
What the? That's as far as I can. My hand hurts just doing that. Yeah. The tooth. It's like. So here's two. And then he's like, yeah. It's insane. Those sausages. Why do you look so rough without any manual labor? I mean, he looks like he's been beaten down by manual labor, yet never lifted a finger because he's too busy splitting them. Yeah. Oh my God.
Things that happen in your mind.
Dude, is he a magician? Does he have like a mentally handicapped child? I'm not speaking ill of his children. I'm just asking, is he around mentally handicapped people a lot? Well, yeah, I guess he did manage Whitney Cummings. So, but
there's two things that happen in your mind.
That just lingers a little too much for me. I don't like that's some numerology.
Somebody who's successful and not successful. There's two things that happen in your mind. I mean, there's only two things. There's positive thoughts
and negative
and
thoughts.
There's negative 100%.
Thoughts. 100%.
So the ones that pushed
that Jamie's genius side just was able to get that last one in there real quick.
The negative thoughts to the corner of their mind are the ones that are successful, and the ones that keep the negative thoughts swirling around in there.
You're sitting on a positive thought. This house is a positive thought.
That's why
I know.
God, I want to stand up here and jump on this couch like Tom Cruise professing his love.
Do it. I've been waiting for that thing to get all banged up.
Love the Katie Holmes. This house. Listen to me. I'm gonna go crazy. Listen to me, Jamie. Listen to me. Audience, listen to me. This house. You don't just snap your fingers and take a piss and the house appears like this. You work hard, you search, you fight, you're doing inspections, you're looking for what wall to put something on, how to design it. You're like, I mean, this is like a masterpiece that you made. You don't do that with no effort.
No, I appreciate you. And you're right. But you have multiple clients that have done this.
So what?
I know, so I'm impressed that
he's like, but you have multiple clients. He's like, so what? So I can be a client too. He's like, thank you for talking to me like I'm one of your clients.
You're so impressed, and I'm very touched.
Okay, let's move on.
Listen, everything you're saying is right. There are some questions I have for you, though.
God.
I'm listening, man. Am I allowed to say one thing for 20 seconds?
Yes, I want to say something
regarding what you just said. Dane Cook got this beautiful.
Dane Cook's got one of the best houses in LA. So you got to go there all the time.
Beautiful house, but in the beginning, he got this beautiful apartment at the La Fontaine that was 2 stories high, and it was incredible. And Patrice O'Neill comes to visit him. I didn't know. And he knocks on the door, and Dane opens up the house, and Patrice comes in. And Dane told me this is the first thing Patrice said. He just looked all around. Fucking Barry Catz, that motherfucker. Anyway, go.
Wait. I want to, let's just, so people understand what you have done. Keep it simple. You had a comedy club
So this has been the whole thing of important people make people feel important. Okay. Barry Catz is very important in the industry. So he knows how to make these little ones, these less thans, feel important. Okay. Jamie thinks that because he's an exotic bitch, he's attractive. Okay. You ain't. No matter what kind of floral shirt you have, you're not exotic.
Well, let's just so people understand what you have done. Keep it simple. You had a comedy club in New York called Boston Comedy Club.
Yes, sir.
And I would say, well, are you from Boston?
That is 1 hour worth of just insane. I mean, what do you call that? Just ego inflation, circle jerk, kind of just, oh my God, an hour of it.
Yeah, well, I'm from Longmeadow, Massachusetts, but I went to Boston University. I owned comedy clubs in Boston, and then my wife passed away at 23, and I just, that feeling that happens when people are always coming up to you and saying, "How you okay? You okay?" And I just got in my car and I went to New York, and I found a place with the help of a comedian named Eddie Brill.
Of course.
And on West 3rd and Thompson.
Yeah, exactly. Flattery. Yeah, it's like, oh, so much. But hopefully we're out of it. Hopefully we get to some substance. Okay, that's just surface shit.
Around the corner from the Cellar and the old Village Gate, and they listened to me, and I don't. It seems like a bad idea now, the Boston Comedy Club, but it turned out to be an amazing place.
The BCC in New York City, probably called the Boston Comedy Club because you can argue that some of the funniest people ever have come out of the Boston area, which I would argue that is true. So the club, how long did it last?
I had it for 17 years, and then, ironically, when I was started managing Dane and things, took off so crazily, he was from Boston. That's when I decided, hey, I'm going to give it back to the people at the building or whatever. And then they went out of.
So club's gone?
Yeah.
So how many people? Tell me who I'm leaving out. At one time, you discovered or managed Louis C.K.
My first client ever.
Wow. Jim Breuer.
Yes.
Jay Mohr.
Yes.
Jeff Ross.
Yes.
Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
Sarah Silverman.
Sarah Silverman worked at the club, but I didn't represent her. But when she used to come out to L.A., she used to stay with Jay and I.
Neil Brennan worked the door?
He was the doorman. Timothy Oliphant was the doorman at the other club.
Okay, so you had two. I'm leaving Patrice O'Neill.
I did help Patrice, but I probably didn't officially manage him, but I got him a lot of gigs.
Burr
I managed.
Nick Swartzen.
Yep.
Everybody but you, Jamie.
That's 11. Absolute fucking legends. Give me more.
Kreischer.
Bert, 12.
Wanda Sykes.
13.
Jim Gaffigan.
14.
You want me to keep going?
Yes.
Darrell Hammond.
15.
Stop, Jamie, stop.
Not just managed, discovered, cultivated, and then managed. That's 15.
Felipe Esparza.
16.
Jeff Dye.
17.
Oh, my God.
I work with Ken Jung.
18.
It was really hard for him to say Jeff Dye right there. He's like, Jeff Dye. He's like, oh, okay, you gotta go through the list here. All right. Okay, this compliments, flattery, resume, very LA.
There's so many. I mean,
Listen.
There's so many.
There's so many. Give me one female.
Well, there was Wanda Sykes.
Wanda was one.
And then Whitney Cummings.
Whitney, did you manage her?
Yeah.
Okay.
She had 3 television shows on the air when I worked with her.
Oh, so
her
she had 3.
Yeah.
2 Broke Girls. What was the third?
She had
Apartment
a show
23.
with Chelsea Handler. You also forgot Dane Cook.
Oh, God, Dane. Yep. Jesus.
So that's 20.
That's 20. That's 20 hitters.
But there's believe it or not, there's more. It's humbling.
Oh, he's got Brad Williams now.
It's humbling. It's like there's Brad Williams. It's like there's
It's incredible.
And to work with Jay Mohr for 30 years, and I just did his hour special and Packing for Rehab. We just finished shooting it, and that was that's incredible to work with somebody. By the way, I don't mind saying this. I work with him. He would say this. He was an addict. He is an addict. And at his worst time, he fired me. And that was traumatic because I'd been working with him for about 25, 27 years.
Whoa.
And then after he got sober and had an intervention, we talked again, and I met with him and also with his wife, Jeannie Buss, and started working again. And you know what's funny?
That's beautiful.
But you know what's funny about certain comedians, and I say this because he's on that Funny You Should Ask show with you.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what you'll find comical, and some people might find comical, and Jay might, if he were sitting here, he might hit me. So when I start working with him again, as a manager, your job essentially is the artist puts his list or her list together, and your job is to check off the things on the list.
Yeah.
And then you add new things to the list.
Barry, no one does this. This is why it's so hard, because there's only one of you. But I have questions.
Please.
I don't want to cut you off.
You're not.
But
no,
I have questions.
No, please.
How many of those clients, this is not, tell me if you want to punch me. How many do you still work with?
Out of all those, maybe one, Jay.
Just Jay?
Yeah, I've been fired and hired more times than I can imagine. I've worked with people for, the Gaffigan was another one.
It's insane.
I've worked with people like for instance, Jay Mohr, 30 years, Dane Cook, 17 years, Frank Caliendo, 11 years, Whitney Cummings, 7, Louis C.K., 8,
and
Chappelle, 9.
I think you're still cool with everyone.
Oh, I love them. And I talk to them a lot, and it's I don't talk to all of them a lot, but I am cool with them because let's face it, Jamie, look.
Business is tiny.
Let's say if I represented you from the beginning, and let's say you stopped working with me after 12 years, and I was given the choice to go back in time, and I can either manage you and go through all that amazing stuff and get my walking papers, or I can not manage you. I'm going to manage you every time. What do you think? I'm not going to manage Chappelle for 9 years? I mean, I'm not going to manage Bill Burr for 7 or 8 years. Of course I am. And the thing about our business that I think is a lot of people don't understand, because an artist and a manager a lot of times would say, it's like a marriage. A great manager client relationship is like a marriage. And it's not like a marriage. A marriage is 50-50. A manager and artist is 90-10. So when you start the relationship, there's a cracked foundation already, because you're starting in a position where you're not even nowhere near looking eye to eye. The artist is always has more, and they always can take you out at any time because they can. They're 90-10. There's no way around it. So the managers that I respect tremendously are the ones that represented Robin Williams, for 40 years, and Billy Crystal and Bernie Brillstein represented Lorne for 35 years. This is it's hard to do. And yes, I've gotten the shit kicked out of me a lot of times, people would say, but I'm still smiling because I love the business. I love managing. I can, you know how they say for an artist, you want to walk on stage and know that there's no doubt. And I have no doubt I could work with anybody. And if we both put the attention to detail and are malleable together, that I know that there's no way I'm not going to add value to somebody's life. However, this is the last thing. My biggest strength is my biggest weakness, in my opinion. And that is, as you know, and you've known since you first met me, I love doing everything.
Mm-hmm.
I love managing artists. I love making a difference. But I also love producing movies. I'm doing one coming up with Kirk Fox, who I represent for probably 14 years. I love producing television shows. I love creating television shows. I love consulting. I was a consultant for Cirque du Soleil for 3 years to help them find comedians for the first time for their shows. I love consulting with artists secretly, and there's a lot of them who I'm their secret weapon. I love being a secret weapon.
That's what I was saying. Dude, excuse me. Yeah, he got into the kind of consulting speech. How many people have done what you've done? Just do it.
There's a blueprint program I have with 1,000 young comedians in it who I do office hours every Monday, and they can talk to me and do whatever. And there's different
And they pay for that.
Yes.
But what about, well, you say you consult with artists, you give them career advice.
Oh yeah, you can't, I mean, it's like,
yeah.
Yes,
it's private coaching, Jamie. Okay. You pay them $100 an hour, and you can be told to just keep on trucking.
There's
So you love doing that. Okay, keep going. I don't want to cut you off.
No, and so I love doing my podcast, Industry Standard. I love, I get to interview Ted Sarandos and Kevin Hart and Bill Burr and you, and I've interviewed 25 network presidents. It's like and you can give something back to the community. I love that. I just did something for the first time. I never did it before. I never thought to do it. I was at the Stand in New York about a month ago, and I was just at the end of the bar, and it was like, what happens. It happens to you. You're sitting at the end of the bar, and there's like a parade of people that come up to you because our business is an accessible business. And I thought, I'm looking at that room that they have upstairs, and as they're talking to me, I'm thinking, God, I've never done a workshop. I wonder if I did a workshop here. I just talked to these people, and so I called the club, and I said, I'm coming back to New York, and I'd love to do it. They said that's only 12 days from now. I said, it's okay. Just put it up. They're like, Barry, there's nobody's gonna come. It's only got 12 days.
Mm-hmm.
I said, just whatever. And I just put it up, and completely sold out at 12 noon on a Saturday.
Wow.
And I got to talk to these young comedians and make a difference. And
Barry Catz loves his workshop. He's a workshop man. He's like, well, why manage when I can workshop? Get 30 people in a room. What have you been telling them? You can do it in the industry now. Forget the studios. Just get you got a camera on your phone. Use your phone. Okay, if you want to make movies, make movies. You want to be a director, direct. You want to be a writer, write. And then keep doing that. And then when people ask you, hey, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been writing. Oh, really? You've been writing? Hey, I know someone who's actually looking for a writer. Oh, yeah. Hey, I've been directing these stuff. Oh, really? See, then you're telling people what you're doing, and you're doing it. And then the doors of opportunity open up to you. Okay? It's easier to redirect a moving ship. You just got to do stuff. There. You guys just had a whole consultation. Clip virgin. I mean, that's why you guys show up to the stream, so I can consult you. For free. Okay? I ain't paying. I ain't charging you guys. I wouldn't be paying for that shit. Why would I charge people for that? Yeah.
And it was just, I don't know, it was just really inspiring. But
so your strength is your weakness. So
yeah, I'll tell you why. Because let's say I represent you, Jamie.
Yeah.
And
he wants it.
Okay.
And then we know that that's been on the surface. Okay, this representation tension. Okay, this is what. Yeah, it's like the industry sexual tension. Okay, it's like, will you represent me? If I can only be represented by Barry Catz, then I will finally be something. No, he's just going to say, hey, get in some classes. Make sure you're doing some stand-up. Read Variety.
And you say, how's your weekend going? It's going good. I just interviewed Ted Sarandos, the president of Netflix. Oh, really? Did you talk about me? No. Well, he was doing the interview. Well, did you pitch my special? Well, I was just doing the interview. Well, am I going to have a meeting with him? Is he doing my podcast?
Oh, boy.
And so
Michael Biehn.
If artists don't accept the fact that.
That's what Michael Biehn said. Yeah, he's like, I talked with the executive of Netflix, one of the executives, and said, hey, why don't you have some of these actors from the show, people in production from these shows that are coming out, on all over to my podcast. And Michael Biehn was telling Jamie Kennedy the story. And Jamie Kennedy's eyes were lighting up and like, oh, wait, can I get in some of that? And Michael Bihn's like, and if you clean up your act, maybe I could, give you some of my leftovers. But you best be clean shaven by the time I see you again. He said this to Jamie Kennedy. And the next time we saw Jamie Kennedy, he was clean shaven, cut his hair. He was groomed, literally groomed by Michael Biehn.
That I want to try to make a difference out there and do things, then I am going to get my ass handed to me.
Well, what you're saying is you do a lot of things in time management. And even though you are hands-on from 6 a.m. to 5 a.m. the next day, like you are everywhere, I see you everywhere, that some people might feel because you do other things.
Yeah, I do. And like I said, you're a 10%er. You're a 10%er. You're not in control. And artists can just say, hey, I'm moving on another direction. But many of the people that I work with didn't even hire other managers.
I know. I know that you legendary you used to get stuff faxed to you.
Yes.
You get fired by fax.
I get fired by fax. I get fired by text. I get fired by FedEx.
You get fired by FedEx. These are great.
I've been fired.
People would send you FedEx letters to fire you.
And I've been fired in person.
Yeah, that's the most honorable.
And people, a lot of there's a lot of tears.
I know. I have to say something though. It's in my brain that you said.
Please.
I wrote a letter to CAA, and I had my management company and CAA, and I have that email somewhere, and I broke down my acting career, my TV career,
You ain't getting
producing
CAA.
career, my one night career. Oh God, I could tell you this. Every agent. This is what you're not talking about. Shout out Jackie Miller.
Jackie Miller, the one who moved away from L.A. and books personal appearances. Is that Jackie Miller?
Yes.
Yes. I you know what?
She lives in, I don't know, Nebraska.
I have to say one thing about her. And
Irving Arthur.
I have so much respect for Jackie Miller, even though I never had a great relationship with her one way or the other. But a person who said, you know what? Fuck it. I'm out of here. You want me? I'm great. If you want to hire me, I'm doing it from Nebraska.
Yeah. Listen, she always believed in me, was sweet, literally always on the phone. Eventually, when I went to CAA, they said, just have us do everything. And, you know, that
Irvin Arthur had that office,
100%.
that circular office there.
Everyone who got her coffee, I could tell you people who got her coffee, the people that were interns that got her coffee getters coffee, all run this business. Every single agency has one of those guys that came out underneath Jackie. She was the OG. So, and I had plans at one point, my agent, I'm not going to name names, although I'm very close to doing it. He said, this is a good weekend. Look what I did.
He will.
I got me 25 for the club, 25 for the college, and then, oh man, somebody fell out of EA games. Can you do their breakfast, lunch? 25. And he goes, 75 for the weekend. Not bad. And that's amazing. So I was starting to build. Social media was happening. And I wrote in this thing to see
75 what? 100? 7,500? $75? What was that?
my opus that I can't wait to get to 50 grand a night. Because
okay,
at one point, Jeff Ross, me, Bob Saget, I made 35,000 for the middle. I'm sure.
Oh, so he's talking about 75,000. Okay. I'm like, what? Wait. See,
Jeff probably made whatever. He was opening 25,000. And I'm sure Bob made 60,000. Okay. So those numbers weren't that crazy. Now, they're what I call gifts because it's what you can get out of the 19-year-old college girl who has that fun. You know that game. It's not like I sold the tickets, but I was making so much money in colleges. When I said I wanted to make 50 grand a night, the other agent called. My other agent goes, is this guy crazy? What's he talking about? And it really bummed me out. And I could see the social media. I could see how MySpace was moving tickets. I was seeing what Dane was doing. I was like, this is what it is. One-on-one, connecting to the fans. So I have so much to talk to you, but I want to just say this. The idea of you write this beautiful list and Santa comes and helps you fulfill it is not real, Barry. You're the only guy. Now, I've never worked with you, and we've always been around each other and always cool. We laugh.
Always loved you.
Always, I love you back. And you've represented most of this town.
except for me.
And you're a legendary figure. You are a legendary figure. And so, I don't know what your relationships are with people, but you hear stuff and they hear stuff about them, and we all have crazy shit. I don't hear anything crazy, but I'm just saying it's like everyone has their working relationships. So, but I do believe you care about artists more than most people. And
since you called me an artist, that means you care about me.
These agencies, Triad, these are the only words that you'll get. Triad, ICM, and someone else left and formed UTA.
Yes.
And you guys don't understand. These were big.
I was literally just going to say UTA. Like what, UTA?
Players, but smaller. And then they formed this crazy agency of UTA, which took a lot of people like me. That was one of my first agencies after APA. APA is obviously Danny Robinson, who's an amazing cultivator of talent. But they had Ben Stiller, Seth Rogen, Jack Black, myself, Jason, just many people that were odd and made us stars. So my point is that Agencies became too big because you thought an agent would just take care of you. Then management companies became worse than agencies.
They became big.
And they have, I call the hive. They all get a salary, which is not good for our business. They all at the end somebody brings in $5 million. They say, "What's your bonus? We'll figure it out." Where you, if somebody made $5 million, you're getting $500,000 and producing credit, whatever. And everyone took these salaries, and it killed the hustler, which you are. You're a New York street loafer wearing, pounding the pavement, headshot carrying motherfucker. Get in there, do that impression. Get in there, do your funny five. And so when that happened, the business ultimately got screwed up when that's chopped because everyone had to fight for the dinner. I think your manager should be as hungry as you. I think your manager should be as broke as you. When I went into an office at CBS a few years ago, I'll never forget this, and the woman I was in there, very sweet woman, very powerful in this business, half of the meeting was her figuring out if she could get her kid in this perfect preschool. When executives are making $300,000 a year and their problems are that,
half of your interview has been you just talking about how thankful you are about his compliments of you and how, excuse me, it's been so long since I spoke. Sorry, folks. These late night sessions hearing big old fluff piece doesn't really have my mind active. Okay.
it's done.
This is
so I agree with everything you said in the first part, but you have to remember all these extraneous circumstances. But yes, creating is creating and getting the audience to see it. You can do that. But I just want to let you know that I've done these lists. I've done this stuff, and these guys a lot of them don't care, bro.
Well,
you understand that? I want you to take that in.
God.
A lot of them do not fucking care.
Okay, so if somebody doesn't care or doesn't align with you, look,
and then I got to comment on what's going on. Don't go down the rabbit hole. Just give me a quick answer on that one.
Yeah, when somebody doesn't align with you,
you go to the next one.
You go to the next one. You have that right. It's like dry cleaners.
I know.
You don't like the dry cleaner, you go to the dry cleaner. Look, I
agree with you, but I'm just saying there's a lot of people that it's an infected thing.
But but sometimes
I love it. I love the business. I'm here doing it.
I know, but sometimes it's like, look, I mean,
I just want to get with the crowd. I don't care about the executives. I don't care about the agents. Well, but when you pointed this picture of like, sit with an artist and give me your wish list, that's not real.
Look, I remember
most don't do that. You have to admit that.
I do. I remember.
Thank you.
I remember Frank Caliendo, another one I represented.
Again, legend.
I worked with him on what my instinct would be for him to get a deal. The 5 minutes of fury, we called it. 50 impressions in 5 minutes. And I would send him into rooms to do that. And he came out from Wisconsin at the end of one day. He had I think he had like a $200,000 holding deal or something like that. I feel like it's just a question of recalibrating and readjusting. And look, if somebody ends up not working with me, you can't point to
Jamie Kennedy.
What are you going to point to somebody like whoever? Insert the name here. Look at the movies they did, the television, the money they made. I know I know what I did with their talent and my talent.
You are rare. I'm giving you your flowers. But to act like this town is full of yous is just not real.
But who cares?
I don't care.
All I care about is...
Can I finish?
Yes.
I don't care, but you're ignoring something called logjam. Okay? But what's crazy, and your client, Dane Cook, gets all the flowers for completely trailblazing social media. Okay, and changing the game. So he went direct to consumer, correct? So that changed the business forever. Gatekeepers got a reality check, but
right. So now it's podcast. Now podcast, you can kind of cultivate a following, and then when you go on tour, you see the influx of ticket sales because you spend time on your podcast, and there you go. All right. End of show. Okay, he's been trying to say this for the past hour. Just the industry is different. It's kind of tough. You got to admit that, but just let me finish this. Okay.
We've gone so far the other side now that I kind of miss some gatekeepers.
Listen,
so
let's look at.
I got a question.
Let's look at his example. Okay, let's look at as an example here.
Okay.
Just recently, something that I did within the past 2 years with somebody.
Okay. I haven't even got to my question.
Brad Williams.
Yeah.
Had done 3 specials that got on networks. Worked with him to produce this special. Got the money down in New York City. It was like $81,000 to produce this special, which is in scheme of things, nothing. There were great people involved, and it was in New York at this beautiful theater. And he did 2 shows, so he got that money that helped pay for it, whatever. And I had sold 45 out of 46 hour specials in my career. Think about that.
Incredible.
Okay. 45 out of 46.
I like to know the one that didn't go.
The one that didn't go was a guy who was relatively unknown, but an extraordinarily great comic. And he had a great idea, and it just didn't go. It was Owen Smith, who runs the Tracy Morgan Show.
He's awesome.
Great comedian. And he had the idea to shoot his special, the first special, with all iPhones. So we shot the whole special with 10 iPhones. He bought them one day and he returned them the next day.
Brilliant.
But it was shot in like the Santa Monica West Side Comedy Club, a small little space.
Typical.
And it didn't go. So Brad Williams' special, which was beautiful and incredible and wonderful, I was shocked it didn't sell. And it did sell to a little, I don't know what you call it, like Live Nation's version of like a
Tubi
paid platform for 3 months. So we got the money back. He got the money back. His agent had worked out something with this group, and we got the money back for him for the special. And now I helped him create the artwork for his logo, his YouTube channel. He didn't have a YouTube channel. I got a team together. I got a guy who had over 3 billion views on his YouTube channel, and built a YouTube channel, launched the special.
Guess what, Barry Catz? I had none of that shit, and I did it myself. How about that? Excuse me. How about that? I don't need some billion viewed little consultant telling me how to start a YouTube channel. Just create an account.
April 20th of 2 years ago.
420.
Okay. And in the first year, 8 million people watched that special. And his theater business went from, maybe he was doing, he quadrupled or quintupled his business.
I'm going to tell you what he was doing. He was doing in the club in Connecticut, Mohegan Sun. What is that club called? Because I would do it. And then he was there the week before, and maybe he was selling out 3 of 5.
So what I'm telling you.
But he was selling out some shows. And so that was a club of 280.
And then he moved into millions and millions and millions of dollars in revenue in theaters because he didn't care. Yeah, he cared. He was disappointed that he couldn't sell the special, or I couldn't sell it, or whatever. Yeah, it's disappointing. But then he created a YouTube channel. He never had a YouTube channel, and put this special on, and it changed his business forever, his life forever. No gatekeepers, no nobody, just him.
He's doing what, 2,500 a night?
You mean 2,500 seaters?
People, yeah.
Sometimes 3,000. Sometimes there's less or whatever. But the point is that millions of dollars instead of what was before. And that doesn't mean it's going to stay like that. If you're listening, and Jamie knows this, our business is cyclical. You know, not very few comedians just keep rising and stay at the top or whatever. You have to ride these ups and downs because fans, they love you, but then, you know, they've loved it. They'd have enjoyed it like an album. And now let's see the new artist and let's enjoy the new artist. And if you only have so much money, then you know, it takes a lot to keep rising and rising. And you have to understand that that's the way the business is. And as long as you can go into a room and people know you and they love you, you can always build upon it.
Okay. You just said something. I'm shooting Bowfinger. You need to take that?
No. I just want to make sure.
I'm shooting Bowfinger.
You need to, oh my God. He pays no attention to Jamie. It's like, oh, God. 4th podcast. I'm on my network tour.
Steve Martin.
Steve Martin says to me, and I want to stay on what we're talking about. He talks to Frank, and he says,
Frank Oz.
Yeah. He says, I was the 70s, Eddie was the 80s, Jim is the 90s. It's pretty much, and that's correct. Like ruling comedy. Steve Martin, I think, was the first ever to sell out an arena. Eddie was second. Dice is third.
You got
I think
arena
Dane
talk here.
And to Dane, if you're watching this, Bob Saget called me and said, dude, Dane just sold out the TD Garden. And I said, what? I want to say it's like 32,000 or something crazy. Or maybe it's, I don't know. It was something like that. And I go, what? And he goes, 2 shows. And I said, what? He goes, yeah, he's treating it like a Friday night. Like an 8 and a 10:30 at a club. He sold out 2 shows at the Garden. And I was like, what? It was insane. And Bob was genuinely in awe. And I was awe, and humbled in awe that he was telling me this in
I'm sure he was like, wow. He's so awesome. No, I'm sure he said, how the hell is Dane Cook doing that? He just flops around on stage.
calling me. So, I mean, that is a moment of cultural landscape, shifting of the business, everything. It's incredible.
Like, I think a week later, we did 2 shows at Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, for sure. And then I want to say, like, I think some people started trick. I think Chris Rock sold them out, and Sebastian. What I'm saying is, there probably last week were 6 comedians that sold out arenas. How insane is that to you? How insane is that to you?
It shows how desperate people are for something to be funny, for comedy. Okay. So it's a bad sign. Okay. The economy is in good times when comedy stays, in the small theaters where it's these dive bars and just go in and got a secret handshake and get in. It's not good when it goes mainstream like this. Okay, it's becoming commercialized because they are seeing that there's a need for it. But they're not fixing the root of that problem. Because if they did, they would be out of business. So they need people to be at odds. They need people to be deprived of comedy so that they can come in like a white knight and say they're tight 15. Okay? These are words that they write down and repeat over and over for months, even years. Say the same thing over and over to different people. Some same people, but to different people, different cities. And they talk as if they're saying it for the first time. I would go absolutely mad if I had to say the same thing over and over again. I am about to lose my shit just because I gotta look at Jamie Kennedy all the time. Let alone if I had to say the same thing. I couldn't imagine what it would be like to be a human jukebox. Not even a jukebox. You're just a pull toy. Hey, look at me. I'm Jamie Kennedy. I'm a comedian. Hey, you're a one-liner. Just a pull toy. You got no point of view. Your ambient noise in the back of Asmongold streams. You're just filler.
And how different is comedy? And I want to say this to you because you'll get it, and I don't think people understand it. When I would try to go in, Mark Linnell, Michael Rappaport's stepfather, one of the owners of the Improv, they would sign up a month before to get your 3 minutes, and he would evaluate you like you do me. It was just
3
good.
minutes.
It was beautiful. Mark did care. He was a tough dude, but he cared. He would say, this is what you got to work on. I would go in, and after I had auditioned, Seinfeld would be talking to Mario Joyner. Roseanne Barr would be eating a salad. Ellen would be at the bar. And George Lopez would be running his Tonight Show set.
Well, we know he's lying. Ain't no way in hell Roseanne Barr is eating a salad.
And I can't even remember the rest of the people that were up and coming at that point. Like Sarah Silverman was like a please allow. Like that's who I would see
with the rice
on the reg.
Up
but
and
it
coming.
was a community. I only looked at open micers. I never talked to middlers. I never talked to hosts. I never talked to headliners. It was a different level. And that's what you did. You never did it. And, I just never did. And I still don't. I respect people's green rooms, all this stuff.
That's what you did.
But
I never did it.
I knew everyone in the business. Where are we at?
Well, where are we at? Well, first of all, where we're at with Jamie's saying, it's incredible to me that he is as successful as he is.
This is a therapy session.
Without utilizing the community that comedy is. Because what's truly extraordinary about comedy, if Dave Chappelle is in the hallway of the Comedy Store and a young comedian just does a 3-minute set on potluck and comes out of the room, they can walk right up to Dave and say, "Hey, Dave, great to see you. So much respect for you. Listen, I was wondering, you know, I just did my setup there and it really went really well, but the last joke didn't go well and I feel kind of shitty about it. And Dave would take the time with that person and really spend time with them. Can you imagine like Mick Jagger leaning up against a rock club wall and a young musician coming up? It doesn't happen. So there's this incredible community that you grew up with and you still are a part of and people love, you know, and it's, and the thing I wanted to say to you before I answer this about the business, I was back when we didn't get to it, I was talking to Jay Mohr about his goals when I put the list together. And I said, listen, I'm working with you again. I'd love to know what your bucket list is, what you want to do. So could you let me know? This is what he says. This is why all artists are so, you know, you never know. This is a guy, Jay Mohr, for if your audience doesn't know, he's worked with 18 Academy Award winning actors and 19 Golden Globe winners. Okay. And this is what he says to me. I really want to do 3 things.
I think I know.
In no particular order. I'd love to do Hollywood Squares. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? You want to do Hollywood Squares? Why do you want to do? He said, Barry, get me Hollywood Squares. It's a great community thing. It's a great gig. I want to have fun. All right. What else do you want? Well, mostly I want to do Funny You Should Ask. I said, Jay, there's 6 chairs. Somebody has to like die to get in there or ask for whatever. He said, please, I really want to do it. I said, that's not an acting gig. That's not a movie. It's like, it's just such a fun gig. It's such a camaraderie. I want to be around the comedians.
He's right.
And those shows, just so everybody knows who's listening, they don't do anything for a comedian's career. Maybe they might get them a sponsorship gig here. Maybe they might get them another panel thing. Maybe
don't
they
say
might
that.
Get them a choreography gig. I'm just saying they're not. Let me rephrase.
Jamie,
Jamie Pleason's speech again. Just loves to tell people what they can and cannot say.
Things that there are to do for a comedian on film and television.
You're saying that
those are the shows that have the least amount of impact on you becoming a film star, a television star, it's just that's not what they're looking for. They're, Antoine Fuqua, who you work with, is not looking to cast a new movie with the guy who's the third square on Hollywood Squares for The Secret Square. That's not what he's looking for.
Get to the third thing.
The third thing was The Masked Singer.
Okay, now let me answer for Jay. He's done so much. He's done a million things. He's worked with everybody.
Jamie's bossy.
Jay told me this. I'm gonna update your list for you. Jay, he went like this because he's the chair behind me, and he kind of nudges me. And I said, he goes, you know what I want to do, Jamie? He goes, I fucking love this job. I said, dude, it's the best, right? He goes, yes. He goes, I want to do this show. I want to do Hollywood Squares. I want to do my 10 minutes at Comedy Magic. And maybe I'll do some improv spots. I think he literally said that's what he wants to do. He wants to enjoy his life. And that's okay. But he told me that he wants to do spots at Comedy Magic. I said, I think you got that. So, listen, everyone has
I just want to enjoy my life too.
But you have to remember, he's doing this for 40 years. He's been doing this since he's 15 years old.
Let's get to a segment.
The question I have for you.
Thank you.
Is that there's so many comedians now. I'm going to say something that's going to be
too many.
Controversial, but it shouldn't be. If everyone's special, Barry.
If everyone's special, what?
Finish the statement.
Oh, if everyone's special.
Nobody's special. There's only one Angelina Jolie.
Well, first of all, I feel like, honestly, it's exactly the same as it's always been. It's just a different, just listen to me for a second. There's always been shitty comedians.
I'm not saying they're shitty.
Just hear me out.
All right.
There's always been shitty comedians who get more attention than brilliant comedians. There's always brilliant comedians who get more attention than shitty comedians. There's always people who rise through the ranks who people are like, wow, I get that. And there's other people who rise through the ranks who are like, how the fuck did that happen? There's always people who get a television series and you're like, why the fuck did that person get a television series? And then another person who didn't. And you're like, I can't believe it. There's people who have had their own television series, been on late night shows, who are driving Ubers now. And there are people that are in tremendous situations. And so I'm going to answer it this way. Nobody gives a fuck, Jamie, what anybody else is doing. Who cares what anybody else is doing? I think the biggest symptom of the problem today is because with so many different people doing so many different things, comedians get in their own head, and doubt is the greatest dream killer. It's just awful. And so people have these things, well, this is the way the business is now, and how do you feel about this? And what do you think about Kill Tony? And what do you think about the Savannah Bananas and Bert Kreischer working that? And what do you think about Jelly Roll working with the Josh Adam Myers and the goddamn Comedy Jam? And what about Earthquake and his radio show? What do you think about that? And Kevin Hart, funniest fuck, what, isn't that the last comic standing of the thing? No one cares what I think or you. It's what you think about yourself and what you think about your career. And so this is what bothers me most about what's different about today. I think more comedians are just so in their head about, how am I going to do this? This is that. This isn't available to me. I can't do it. How come this happened?
Yeah, because all the comedians sit on their ass and talk on podcasts to other comedians, and then it's just an echo chamber. And then you get it all, disorientated because you're not seeing the world objectively. And you start thinking that comedians are prophets.
And for this person, why does this person not book me? You know, it's like, who cares? I was just interviewing a wonderful young comedian who I think is really on the rise, Erica Rhodes.
Amazing.
Great voice.
She's risen.
Great voice, great material, tremendous, but again, it's a process.
She's paid her dues more than anyone.
Yeah. But she told me that one of the things that she loves about New York is the Comedy Cellar, and she hasn't cracked it yet. And that's a goal for every comic who's in the business, is to be able to crack working at one of the greatest establishments in the history of the world. And then it's easy if you're anybody from the outside. If I'm a comedian and I'm inside the sausage factory, it's easy to feel great about things. Mm-hmm. But when you're outside the sausage factory, it's like, how did they get inside? And so I would say this to any comic about the business: just keep your head down and do the work, because if you'll oblige me, being from New England, Tom Brady was always somebody that I looked at and I loved and I watched and I was amazed. And 9 Super Bowls, and I think 3 of the 3 that he lost, he
10.
actually 10, whatever. The 3 that he lost, or the 3 that he lost.
3 lost.
Yeah. He won the game with 2 minutes left, and the team, he was on the bench when they lost the game, so it wasn't even his fault when
Eli beat him in the last minute and 2, which could have been his, but Nick the Stick beat him legit.
Yeah. So the point I'm trying to make is that,
please,
I'm watching this guy, I'm studying this guy, I love this guy, I'm watching only like literally a fraction, maybe 1% of the effort that this guy puts into his football career. I can't see all the planning and the strategy that he's putting in to be great. All I see is what I see on stage. That's on that gridiron. Seinfeld, when I've seen him, and I've seen him hundreds of times, I've never seen him have a problem. I've never seen him have a heckler. But then I saw this clip where this Palestinian group interrupted his show, and I thought, oh my God, how's he going to handle that? How did he handle it? He fucking obliterated them.
Yeah.
How did he do it? He did it because he's been training in these rooms his whole life for these moments when anything can happen.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, it doesn't exist.
For every artist, like for you, you're thinking a lot, and a lot of other comics are thinking a lot about, oh, there's gatekeepers and there's this and that, and the business isn't. I know, but the business isn't the same.
I want to comment on what you're saying, because I love what you're saying. When you go, I'm with you. I agree with you. Just Burr said it perfectly. There's a great clip. Some girl goes, "Do you think it's blah blah blah? There's more women should be in the show that are gluten free and lesbian?" And Burr's like, "Be undeniable."
Yeah, that's my favorite quote.
That's it.
If you're undeniable,
he goes, "Be undeniable." He goes, He doesn't care about your gender, your whatever. He goes, "Just be undeniable." That I live by that. He's 100,000% correct.
Yeah, people shit on me. People shit on me all the time because I always say if you're undeniable, you can't be denied. But the thing,
I wasn't saying that. That wasn't the question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they don't have really good communication back and forth. You know, Jamie gets irritated and tells him to hurry up. And Barry's got to say, hey, just let me finish what I'm saying. Okay? Just take a second. So, now you know why they're not working together. Okay? But I mean, I think we're going to wrap it up. That's the fear bombing.
Listen, no, and I'll just say this.
Beautiful.
I'll just say this.
Comedy I have no idea you've done. Why on her bio? And I don't know if I'm going to get time and all this stuff. Second open mic ever. Tons of interaction on her bio, comedian. That is wild. That is so different than what you've done. Obviously, Cream's always going to rise to the top. Maybe she's just trying it out for public speaking, or maybe she wants to be a comedian. I don't know. And maybe in 6 months, she'll sell out an arena. I have no idea. Do you think comedy has so much now that it's just, there's a lot of noise? Because you want to make that legacy bit. Or no?
No, listen, no, and I'll just say this.
Beautiful.
I'll just say
Good
this
for
about
you.
say this about you.
Okay.
When you started, there were many more actors than there were comedians. Yet Jamie Kennedy, this young guy with no experience, no Juilliard training, no nothing, has the fucking balls,
no Hollywood
to
looks,
get an agent and go into a room and book jobs over me. I'm a fucking trained actor. How dare him? Hey, listen, podcast host, what do you think? Are there too many actors in the business?
Listen.
No, there aren't. It's the bottom line is make a noise that's so loud, as Dane would say, Hollywood or anybody has to listen. Fuck people up. Who cares how many? I don't care if there's 20,000 more comedians that are added to the fray. And as an actor, I don't care if there's 20,000 more actors. If you go into a room and fuck them up, it doesn't matter. If you're the cream of the crop, who cares?
I love that answer. And that's a big answer coming from you.
Yep, and that's a good way to wrap it up, folks. We got to wrap this up. That's Jamie Kennedy trying to butter up Barry, trying to get signed by Katz Production. It ain't ever happening, Jamie Kennedy. You ain't gonna get signed by Barry Catz. Won't you cry about it? But you know, Jamie Kennedy kind of wanted something from Barry. Barry was being professional and polite and wanted to let him down easy. You know, he's not looking for new talent, Jimmy. So, but maybe once you do the content house, maybe once he sees your content house, I want to see the content house, Jamie. Do you have it set up yet? Has Kyle placed all the highly reflective furniture everywhere? But I appreciate it, folks. We're going to wrap it up. This was Jamie Kennedy with Barry Catz, manager of Dave Chappelle, Louis C.K., and America's great Whitney Cummings. And Jamie Kennedy wanted to be part of the roster. He just not even being hip-pocketed by him. Bears keeping him at an arm's distance. Mic arm's distance. But I don't know. Maybe it was just not enough for Barry Catz. Okay. But Jamie Kennedy, just keep going. You can do it. Okay. You can get representation. But Jamie's bossy. He doesn't have people in his life to check him and say, hey, how about you shut up and do it yourself? No, I don't tell people to shut up, okay? They have fighting words telling me to shut up. I'm all about speech, anytime speech. People are about free speech. I'm anytime speech. And that's why I stream late at night. This is a late night stream, folks. Late night. That's why my energy's a little bit low, okay? Although I was thinking about maybe doing some more daytime during the summertime, because again, summertime, I'm running around doing a bunch of stuff. Whew. And it's just just long days. But with Jamie Kennedy, these long days don't feel so long. No, this was a long podcast. The whole first hour was just big old fluff piece. But thank you very much. We'll do this again. We got a lot to cover. There's a lot happening, and I even thought about doing maybe a little bit of light news during the day. Okay, because Asmongold just released a 6-hour special about the grape report, okay, that came out in the UK. 250,000 people claim to have been gang raped. Young women and children. And there's this huge report that came out. And he did 7 hours reading it all the way through. And I thought maybe we should take a look at that because it's pretty insane. But that teeters into the news. I don't do too much politics, but we got a lot of other stuff too. Bert Kreischer and Eric Andre is on Bad Friends' new game show. This is their first handful of episodes that they have. I think maybe it might be the first or third that they did. And Dan Soder. Still got Kurt Metzger. Excuse me. Now, if you take a look at Joke World's recent drop, you'll see just how saturated the comedy market is. He goes on and on and on with this list of all the podcasts that are on. It just goes on forever and ever. And yeah, you're going to create a lot of inflation. So it's not going to be of much value. Okay. So that's why I see it on the way out. That's how trends are. That's how artists are. They don't, when things get a little too mainstream, they take a step back and just like, wait, no. Too many of the normies are into this now, and it's getting too broad. Okay, we like to keep it niche. So they then find other things. So I'll see that. I see that's going to happen within the next 3 to 5, if not for sure 7, but as soon as 3 or 5 years. But probably you'll really see it within 5 to 7 years. No one would be doing stand-up. Just the regular stand-ups. It's not this whole human trafficking thing that Tony Hinchcliffe has going on at Kill Tony. That's just a human traffic ring, allegedly. And they're just funneling people in there. Okay. And that's how LA was with the TV and film industry. And that's why you're seeing that not too many people are doing that anymore, because there's not much of a TV movie industry. So, podcast, stand up. But people are going to stop seeing these shows, and it's just going to be more streaming. and then something else, you know. But we'll see. We'll see. It'll be a wild the next decade will be unrecognizable. So get ready. Get ready. But thank you very much. We'll do this again